Welcome to Innsbruck in Austria for the men's semi-final round of the IFSC World Cup. My name is Matt Groom and I'm joined by Molly Thompson-Smith in the commentary box. Molly, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me, Matt.
It is a pleasure to have you. You are one of the very best. And first of all, how is the ankle doing? Because you broke it very badly quite, well, 6 months ago? More than that?
Yeah, a little bit more. Back in September last year, I was out bouldering when I wasn't supposed to be and fractured and dislocated my ankle. But it's doing all right. I'm pretty proud of it, to be honest. Like, the goal for this year was just to get back. So, yeah, to be back climbing and having done, 3 Boulder World Cups now and moving on to Lead this weekend, yeah, I can't really complain.
Yeah, and the falling off onto the mats. I mean, obviously in Lead you're not hitting your ankle, but
no,
it must be hard with bouldering, even though you're falling onto the mats. And I saw you limping a little bit.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks definitely took its toll on my ankle. Brixton was quite dynamic in style, quite new school bouldering, so that was quite tricky. So I'm really, really excited to be back on a rope this weekend where there's no impact.
Awesome. Well, can't wait to see that. So tomorrow is the league qualification for the men and women. That goes from 9 till 4. We won't be broadcasting it. We'll be bringing you extra content. And then in the evening, 7 o'clock tomorrow, is the lead semi-finals for the men and women. And then on Sunday, you've just got a lead finals in the evening. So that's the schedule for the rest of it. Now, Molly, we had a look at these boulders before. This is Boulder 1, a skin-sapping paddle thing, and then M2, old school crimping.
Yeah, as basic as it gets. There's like 4 handholds on the wall there or something. Yeah, super small crimps. Bit of a tricky sequence here, maybe?
Yeah, neither of us could really work it out because you go with the right hand down below the black volume and I guess it's a left. But then if it's a left, do you match or do you go to
yeah, and it looks like the setters don't want you to match, having blocked the top left side of that zone hold, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And then this one, sort of a difficult feat, very complicated, as you can see. I'm trying to figure it out in my head as we go. But that's the top hold, so we'll see. But some clever footwork required, as is on this slab, those holds that have become social media famous by now from 360. Have you had a play on those yet?
Do you know what? I've never held any of these holds, apart from the finish hold. I think I've held that one, but these kind of like Star Warsy Death Star.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of. These kind of ball things, I've never held them before.
I'm nicking that one to the Death Star holes from now on. Yeah, they're dual texture, and the friction part you can't really see. But indoors, it's easier to see than outdoors.
Yeah, like walking up to the boulders with you earlier, I was like, oh, there's actually bits that you can hold on these holds from far away. I could not see any texture on those things.
Yeah, because indoors you've got lights on it and it shines off the no-tech surface. But out here, it could be a bit trickier. Well, this is the boulder wall here at the Kletter Centrum Gym. The boulder wall on the right-hand side. The lead wall, as you can see, in the very centre. It's 30 metres long, lots of real estate for the setters to play with, 4.5 metres tall, which is pretty standard. And that's the biggest overhang in the middle, 3.5 metres. A slab on the right, and it goes from -3 to +40 degrees, which I could never really work out what that means, but it basically goes from slab to overhanging as you work your way down. And Molly, you've had a fair amount of time on that wall over the years. It hasn't changed. What kind of boulders do the setters tend to put up on a wall like this?
Well, over the last few rounds, we've definitely seen a lot of powerful climbs. You've got the one slab angle at the end of the wall, but everything else is quite overhanging on that wall, I'd say.
Yeah, the women's last night, very powerful, very jumpy.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll see what the men do with this. This is our starting list. 3 Japanese athletes at the end. Ritsu Kayotani qualifying in first position. And Alex Megos will be out first. Good to see him back into a semi-finals.
And very excited for Lead this weekend, I reckon.
Yeah, I bet he is. Yeah, it's back in his own habitat. But he is right now going to do some bouldering. And there he is in the waiting area. There behind him is this sort of holding place for the athletes. It's basically just a tent. And they sit there waiting to come on. I know it is. I was trying to hype it up, but I can't really hype a tent any more than it is. All right, Alex is on. We're looking for just 6 athletes to get through into tonight's final. They climb 4 boulders. They got 5 minutes per boulder to try to send it. And we didn't really get to see this because I think we were chatting, but a paddle dyno through it. And like for people who don't know, what is a, well, we're about to see what a paddle dyno is, but he statics it.
Oh, very casual from Alex. And he looks confident. You know, when you have those goes and you're like, okay, I got this. I think that was one of those goes for Alex.
Yeah, he did well. Missed the left blue, so he just went straight from the right out to the left. And that yellow hold he was going for, that's where the athletes are meant to stop before going to the zone hold. But stopping the swing is quite difficult.
I feel like with this boulder, we'll see several different methods, a little bit like the first semi-final boulder in Prague. You know, you got 4 big slopey macros, and I guess some people can stop on some, others have to go all the way through to the end position.
So let's see what Alex can do. On that start hold, it's blocked above his right hand, so he can't put a heel hook in. Otherwise, you could heel hook up and do it pretty statically. Closer from Alex. You can hear the mics picking up the German team down at the front. And the audience has started to filter into the stadium. A bit of a later start to today. But last night, absolutely packed for the women's final, and do go and watch that. We won't say who won, although it's all over social media. So,
yeah, you can't really avoid that.
Can't really avoid it. But it was a dramatic final. So Alex stands there, shuts his eyes, has a little think. And Molly, the athletes don't get to preview these boulders, do they?
No, so in your, is it 5 minutes on? Your 5 minutes on, you have to kind of observe and climb the boulder all in that short space of time, unlike finals where there's an observation period.
Yeah, so a bit different rules, and then...
Yeah, I thought Alex might need to go 2 hands to this yellow hold, and that's what he just tried on that go, and I think it looked a bit closer.
Yeah, seemed to stick on it for a fraction of a second longer. And sometimes these moves do take a while. It's really hard to flash a boulder like this.
Yeah, for sure.
So at the beginning of our semi-finals, we've just got 1 person on. By the time we're in the middle, we'll have 4 people on, and then we'll chill out a little bit towards the end when Ritsu will be climbing by himself, as will Michi Narasaki, who qualified in 2nd place. Oh, really close. Brought the right hand into match, but slid off it to the left.
Still plenty of time on the clock for Alex to figure out this final body positioning, because it really is just the very end of the swing now that's proving difficult for Alex.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be... he's trying to use just the hands. It's not like you can kick off, and it's not an obvious volume to stop on.
Yeah. It's pretty bare, that bit of wall.
Yeah, there's a sign as well, a sponsored logo, which you don't want to stand on. It's slippy.
Yeah, that is definitely against the rules as well.
Yeah. All right, Alex goes again with 1.5 minutes on the clock. No zone yet. Oh, every time getting closer and closer. Alex, one of the most well-known climbers in the world in terms of rock, and he's pretty good on plastic as well. As you said, more of a lead specialist. He always jokes that with boulder comps, he's never going to make finals. You know, he rarely makes semi-finals, but it is good to have him here.
Yeah, for sure. And I think he made a World Championship boulder final as well, so
yeah.
Maybe don't take him too seriously when he says that.
Exactly.
Anyone at home.
Yeah, Alex is, oof. Yeah, being self-deprecating on that one. He is, of course, incredible.
I think this is Alex's 3rd Boulder World Cup this year.
Yes, yeah, he didn't
He's only joined us for the European leg.
Yeah. So he's been training hard at home. Yeah, that lead season will be something he's aiming for. But of course, Olympic qualification for everyone. Oh, look at this, Alex stops it. Right, into the zone. And this is probably his only opportunity to get this. Right hand up, he's trying to figure how to match it.
Skipping the zone. Will he have time?
4 seconds on the clock, and it's not for Alex, but he has been awarded the zone. You can't just touch it, you've got to use the hold, and he dropped down and changed his centre of mass and all that rule stuff, so he's been awarded the zone for that. Let's see it again. It's hard to see like the subtle differences in beta on a jump like that.
Yeah, I think on that go, his left thumb might have been doing a little bit more work, which kind of gave him the opposition he needed to be able to hold the very end of that swing. Because otherwise, if your hands are both kind of on the same side, there's not much to stop you from carrying on moving leftwards.
Yeah, it's a very good point. So that thumb, all important for Alex.
Out next, we have our winner from Prague.
Yes, and how good was it when Dohyun Lee won?
He's just been on another level for the last 12 months, really. Because even towards the end of last season, he was really starting to, shine in finals and challenge for a podium.
Yeah, it's really good to have him here, sort of starting to take over from Zhongwon, although Zhongwon qualified much higher up in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th place.
Yeah, he looked really strong in qualification yesterday.
So Team Korea shown so as well in last comp in Brixton.
Another method on this paddle move, going left, right, left, and left again.
Oh yeah, so for the first time, Alex didn't use that left blue volume, but Dohyun is.
Like a GCSE maths question, how many methods are possible on this first move?
I got an E in my GCSE maths, so I'm not the person to ask for that one.
We'll send that out to the people at home. Come on, someone's got to be able to tell us how many methods are possible.
Drop Molly a message on Instagram.
Please do.
We'll have a look.
And if Adam was here, feet first is also one of them, surely.
That's true, yeah. Well, we've seen 2 so far, so we'll keep a tally
as
we go. In fact, look, I'm doing a tally right now, so 2. Oh, my pen doesn't work. 2, there we go, we're in. So the photographers gather on the left and right side of the stage. Lots of photographers here, including someone you know very well, Sam, who's been taking pretty wonderful pictures.
Yeah, my partner Sam's been taking pictures for a year now. Really enjoying life on the scene, trying to capture a slightly different side to competition climbing, a bit more emotive stories and a slightly more artistic style, having studied art at school as well. But yeah, it's always interesting. I feel like as an athlete, we think we have the hardest jobs or the longest days, and then I spend time with you in the commentary box, or Sam comes home way after me.
Yeah.
The coaches have been at the venue all day.
Yeah, you guys have it easy.
We do,
no
really.
Idea. You just climb. Sounds great. Dohyun close that time. He seems to keep almost matching his own hand. So just really the friction on the left. I don't know if he wants to bring it into the right.
Let's have another look.
Oh no, that time he didn't.
So just sliding
into
down
it, yeah.
that yellow hold.
Right, so Dohyun will make sure the boulder is clean. Second athlete out, we've got 20 to come. Stream scheduled to finish round about 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Now it'd be interesting to see how conservative people are with their goes, with I guess Innsbruck being a good practice for Bern World Championships with this combined event. Maybe trying a paddle dyno 20 times as the first boulder in semis isn't the wisest thing to do before doing a lead World Cup as well.
Oh, that's such a good point, yeah.
But so I guess we'll see.
Yeah, because some of them might have to do the semi-finals, the finals, straight into league qualifications.
It's a pretty savage timetable, this competition, which is why I decided to just do the lead event here.
Yeah, and as you said, building up to the World Champs, and it kind of feels like a World Champ this week because it's so long.
It's a long event, it's a big one. We have speed, we have para, we have boulder, we have lead. It's a pretty awesome stadium in a way. So it definitely feels like a bit of a climax in the season. And I guess the end of boulder and the beginning of lead, it is a little bit of a
gone already.
So crazy. How have we had a whole boulder season?
I have no idea. It's just a flash. I remember landing in Japan and being like, right, here we go, and it's over already. Sad. It's sad to say goodbye.
It is.
But at least we got the lead season.
We do have the lead season, and probably most of the boulderers will be lead climbing at some point, which is always fun to watch.
Yeah, lots of people going for Olympic qualification. Dohyun slipping left. And I presume you've got an eye on the Olympics this year?
I do, yeah. The goal is definitely to try my best at Olympic qualification. That was all I was thinking of when I broke my ankle, and it's been my main motivator, which it's been nice to have something to look forward to. I think with an injury like that, it could have been easy to just enjoy the time off. But
yeah.
And I don't think Dohyun has any more time to have another go.
Nah, he's done. So, no zone, no top for him, which means Alex will be ahead. Long way to go, of course. And next up, we'll have Martin Bergant.
And I think this is his first semi-final in a Boulder World Cup.
Yeah, so a newbie on the scene for him. Yeah, best finish in the World Cup's 25th.
So not far off, but this is definitely an improvement.
So he's on the left. on the dyno, and then Alex with a big smile on his face. Not sure what happened, but he's on Boulder 2.
I think he's seen all the crimps.
Yeah, that could be it.
Is that Boulder 2? Yeah.
Yeah, it is Boulder 2.
He's like, oh, right. Back to old school. Come on, Alex. Show us something then.
But it is interesting because we saw a sort of, I put it in quotation marks, but old school style boulder, and the men were just too strong for it.
Yeah.
It's the problem with like crimps is all of you are brilliant at finger strength.
I guess it's a lot easier to split athletes with more coordination-based moves. You know, some people will be able to just figure them out a lot quicker, the body positioning, the subtleties. You know, everyone here is pretty strong. This is a World Cup. Everyone's trained super hard for this, so it's definitely harder to split athletes on the more basic boulders.
Absolutely. Well, Alex has skipped a hold down at the beginning.
Straight into the zone.
Yeah, so he has gone with the left hand. This is the move we were trying to figure out, is what do you do with the right hand?
I was wondering if the chalk on the right hand volume meant you needed a palm, maybe. I see a faint, maybe some fingertips.
Yeah,
prints.
I can see him, yeah. So something left behind as a clue, perhaps, from the route setters. Alex wanted to bump the left hand, but it's a long span.
It looks a long way.
And that's the right hand that he was looking to span off. That's the zone. And yeah, I think he was setting up for, he was either looking to try to cross or bump. And I'm not convinced either way is the way, so we'll see. So the scoreboard on your right, the boxes halfway for a zone, full way for a top. 4 boulders, therefore 4 boxes. Right, let's watch Alex again.
Going in for the palm, I think maybe that's the way, but possibly with a left foot on that really tiny circular foothold that's on the face of the white volume, so you can really like sit over that foot, and then a left bump again.
Yeah.
Maybe even right hand in at the same time, who knows?
Yes, that's a good point. And the left foot you're talking about is not very good because it's a circle of no text and then there's a sort of a bobble of text in the middle of it.
That's a good text. That's kind of the theme for this World Cup. I've seen a lot of no text. Even in men's qualifications yesterday, we thought, watching my teammate Max Milne on the first boulder, we thought he was missing a jib on one of the holds, but actually it was just no text.
Right.
There was nothing in
nothing
it. We were like, come on, Max, find the hold. He was like, guys, there is no hold, it's just shiny. And I was like, this is men's bouldering.
Yes, here we go, welcome. Well, where was the comp where they had the no text mantle thing, where they got the feet up on the, was that in Brixton?
Oh, Salt Lake.
Salt Lake, yeah.
Boulder 2 in finals, I think. It was a pretty horrific looking, press out, really committing on a right no text foothold.
Yes, exactly.
Where everyone kind of took a sharp inhale in as everyone pressed that up. But it was fine.
Well, this is the thing, no one had a problem with the move.
No, it's all good when no one has a problem.
Yeah. So Martin is not making much progress on Boulder 1, and Alex is trying to heel. Look for the right palm. Ooh, better into the pinch. But even then, so he foot swaps, he moves the left over. I still don't understand how he gets his left hand out.
Yeah, I think it's really hard to move your left foot into further left, which is the kind of the end foot positioning, because this left hand is so faces the right so much. So it's going to be a tricky foot swap and movement, I think, or putting yourself in a really bad position for it then to feel good.
Yeah, okay. Do you think if he sits down on his feet, could he pop a couple of fingers and match that zone hold? Possibly?
Maybe.
But
my fingers would be maxed out after about, how many goes he had? 5 goes on these tiny crimps.
I'm just coming up with theories basically here.
We love it. We're all about different methods in this round.
Alex once more, he's got 30 seconds. This might be his last go. Out to the pinch. He's looking, he's thinking about it. No, he's done.
Calling it.
Yeah, Martin and Alex lead.
2 zones for Alex.
And we have seen very low scoring rounds recently, so attempts and zones are really important.
For sure.
All right, next up will be Simon Lorenzi. He's climbed 9A outdoors, Boulder. See what he can do on the plastic. And this was Martin's attempts, just struggling with the first few moves.
I think you can just hear the MC talking about Simon's best result, which was 12th in Prague, so he's no stranger to the semi-finals.
Yeah, part of Team Belgium, it has Hannes van Duysen on board as well. He's, as we were chatting about before the stream, a bit of a slab king, so we'll have to see him. He's coming fairly near the end of the... Well, actually, I'm in the middle.
So we don't have too long to wait.
No, and your teammates, God, I'm trying to see their position. Yeah, so Toby, well, we'll talk about Toby when he comes on, but coming in right towards the end of the competition.
Yeah, really excited to see Toby on these boulders. I think we're going to see something pretty special on probably all of them, but especially number 2.
Yeah, last week's winner. Look at
straight
that.
into the zone for Simon.
Very strong. Brings the left foot up, and this is where Alex started to struggle. He was running out of time, whereas Simon has more time to get this done. Palm press on the blue volume. One move away. Dohyun as well is using the palm method. So it's 1-4 on the left.
And Dohyun into the position that Alex was trying to get into, and he goes again.
Right, so the bump is what it's about. Gets a toe hook, drops back to the zone.
Technical climbing. Easy.
Yeah, first top for him. Didn't get a zone on the first boulder, so he'll be happy to get on the scoreboard with that.
And he's looking focused, really focused, game face on. We saw a little bit of personality shine through at the beginning of the Brixton finals, which was pretty fun to watch, but I guess semi-final round is probably the toughest round. You know, people just want to make it through to that final round where they can go out and have fun. So game face is on, I reckon.
Absolutely. Someone was saying yesterday to me that qualies has become really stressful recently. Because
Really?
it's like, well, because the level that anyone
So
can
high.
make a semi-final.
Yeah. I guess no one can really relax. No one is safe.
No, exactly. No one is safe. Yeah, do go back and watch the women's final if you haven't seen it. That was last night, a really stacked field of athletes. I was writing this morning, and I don't think I remember a final that stacked for a long time.
It was, yeah, an incredible lineup. I think people were really excited to see all of those characters kind of come together. Because, yeah, 3 Japanese, 2 Americans, and Yanya.
Certain Yanya, yep.
It's kind of like the power nations of climbing at the moment.
Exactly. Well, we just need Team France in there, and then that would
That's
defeat
true.
it. And you can see rain spotting our camera. It is raining. The wall is covered, and it only tends to be a problem if it's sort of sideways rain, and it's not that
Hopefully
bad.
no sideways rain
No,
today.
please no.
Simon back up to the top of this first boulder.
Yeah, gets a heel locked in. Oh, a bump out to the right. And a match on the top hold. First one to do boulder 1. Good work from him. He will leave with 2 minutes to rest, and I think he's quite happy with that. And we will have a pause, whereas in the finals we bring the athletes straight on when they do a boulder, and the semi-final the time is more regulated, so we'll wait for a bit, watch some replays.
It's really hard to tell how good those slopers are. Like the depth is really hard to tell without actually holding them. I think they're quite new shapes as well, a lot of these. Like I climbed on them for the first time in Brixton this year.
And explain that, because I always find this fascinating, because you athletes, you know these holds, like you almost learn them.
Yeah, it depends, I guess, where you are. Some countries might have access to more holds than others. But in your gyms, like a lot of commercial gyms will buy all of these holds, and you know you can climb on them. It's rare that there's not really any surprises usually, and a lot of teams will buy these holds, set boulders, practice climbing on them.
I'd imagine, I have this image of everyone sitting around a breakfast table with sort of a B2B catalogue with a whole load of climbing holds being like, oh, look at that one.
I mean, we have team group chats, and it is like, oh my gosh, did you see this hold on this person's Instagram story or post? Like screenshots, like we need to get some of these.
No way, that's amazing.
I mean, it's a huge advantage knowing what you're going to, especially when you're going dynamically or, you know, if it's a bit of a dead point move. Yeah, so you want to try and climb on as many of these holds and build what I call your hold vocabulary up.
Nice.
Yeah, as much as possible before the start of the season.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of new ones. The 360 holds on the slab at the end, they were new in Japan, as is that big tuna or submarine style hold.
Yeah.
But now we're seeing them rolled out, so the athletes got used to it a bit.
Psyched crowd, rain macs on and umbrellas out.
I know, I was told last night that umbrellas were banned, but apparently not.
Maybe they were smuggled in.
Yufei Pan is on Boulder 1, Martin Boulder 2, and Alex Megos will try out the tricky foot sequence on Boulder 3. And you can see our leaderboard flicking away on the right-hand side of your screens. I wouldn't worry too much about that at the moment. We are looking for the top 6, but you can see the list of names to come. And yeah, it's flicking around. It's kind of tripping out my eyes there. Yufei Pan goes left. Ah, he's trying to stop on the blue.
Yeah.
I did wonder that because there's a potential like heel-toe cam on the first yellow volume.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, and Alex doing a good little Superman into the zone on Boulder 3.
Good work from Alex. So flashes the zone. Martin as well is into the zone.
Quite a lot of climbing to go from the zone to the top on Boulder 3. You know, the first move being like already scoring once you've secured that second hold. So must be quite tricky.
Yeah, well, you said the Superman move, so his legs flying out sideways. Human flag styly. So only Boulder 4 not in action at the moment. Alex got 3 zones out of 3. And watch this again. So he locks in, palm press down, legs swing out. That looks the slow-mo at this event is incredible.
Yeah.
But be aware that some of the falls look worse than they are. Everything is more dramatic in slow motion.
Oh, another method maybe. With
First, right, I got my pen.
work.
Where's my pen? Right, that's number 3. Remember, message Molly if you spot a different methods through this. I'll be interested.
Alex making the first move work without the foothold.
It's a pretty standard move, that, isn't it? Like we see it quite a lot, that shoulder press.
Yeah.
The left-handed on now is a very shallow dish.
Just missing that tiny jib that I'm not sure we've had a look at on screen just yet.
Yeah, and the jib he's going for it surrounded by a no-tech surface, so you have to hit it, otherwise you're just sliding off it. Yufei Pan's best results was 8th. He was 14th in Prague. Martin cleaning those crimps off. Yufei goes again, deciding against the feet first method. I think most of the athletes will look at that boulder and the feet first might be a beta break, but they'll know what's intended.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time athletes try the intended method first, and it's kind of like a last resort if you can't quite make that work to then try and break it.
So Alex is pressing underneath.
Oh, and he sticks that move to that kind of hidden hold.
Yeah, that was the one we were saying is surrounded by a slippy surface.
And I think another palm
Drops the top.
some emotion from Alex.
I like it when Alex climbs on boulders because you feel that like it's a sort of, how do I say this without sounding offensive? It's not a hobby, but it's where he can enjoy himself, whereas leaders where people expect him to perform.
I guess less expectation and pressure internally, more kind of seeing how it goes.
I'm glad you could say it more eloquently.
I feel like I have the similar feelings to Alex when it comes to bouldering, so.
Yeah, you always say that you're not a boulderer, but I've seen you climb quite a lot of boulders.
I do enjoy it. Competition bouldering is just, there's levels to this.
Absolutely. All right, Alex again. Oh, he misses the left.
I think he's lining up for one more go.
Yeah, everyone's flicking their eyes over to the clocks, which are on the left and right of the stage. Pan keeps looking at it, timing.
Arm swinging.
It's like synchronized.
And everyone's pulling on for their final go.
Alex, easy on the shoulder. He's got that pretty much every time, I think. Fei Pan comes down. He's going to run back again. Keep an eye on the split screen. Martin's starting to come across. Alex needs to get this, and he does. So he has one more chance at the final hold.
He's got plenty of time. Come on, Alex.
And he does get it. Sticks it with just the left.
Giving the crowd what they want.
He is very, very popular on the circuit, is Alex Megos. And he gets his first top of the competition. And that actually jumps him right up to the #1 position. I didn't realize the left was that good. He made it look like a jug, but...
I think it's really good on the left side and pretty poor on every other side.
Yeah.
Or Alex is just super strong, which, I mean, is a confirmed fact.
Yeah, apparently so. He's done a few things.
He's done a few things.
All right, next up is, who is it? Gianluca Suda, there he is. Not Luca, Zan Suda is on from Slovenia.
Maybe his first semi-final of the year?
Just have a look for you. Yeah, so, no, he was 15th. Yeah, first semi-final of the season, yeah.
Yeah. Last year in Innsbruck also, he made semi-finals and was 16th, so Innsbruck is clearly a good place for him. It's really funny how, you know, comp venues do have that effect on people. Like, Brixton was a special place for my teammate Max. He had his medal there, so he was really confident going into the competition there last weekend and was back in semi-finals. And, you know, some people are really consistent in certain locations around the world, so...
Do you think that's like a mental thing, or do certain walls suit certain styles?
I think it's a combination of the two. Like, this wall will lend itself to a more powerful style, as we've seen, so maybe Zan prefers the more powerful style, but also I think there's, like, huge power in the sentimental, like, value of places.
Yeah, no,
and the memories that you have associated there.
Where's your favourite place?
Where is my favorite? Cran was always a favourite of mine.
Okay.
Which, yeah, it's a shame that's not coming back, but
yes, that is super...
I'll have to move on.
Yeah, I'm not sure that will return. It is, it's one of those venues that climbers loved, people loved, and everyone else found it difficult because you disappear into the rafters, the camera couldn't take the pictures.
Yeah, it was my first ever World Cup, my first semi-final, my first medal, like so many good memories there, but I can understand how it's maybe not the showiest of locations.
Yes, possibly not, possibly not. But everyone's got their favourite. And let us know your favourite at home if you're watching. Maybe it's one that's gone and you wish it was back. I know there's a few people missing some venues, but we have got new venues all the time. This year we went to Prague for the first time. That was pretty awesome there.
Yeah, it was amazing.
The crowd was
The crowd turned up. Yeah, it was clearly a great climbing nation, so...
Yeah, and Adam Ondra's return to comp climbing was there. He, I don't know if he's just doing the lead. Did he do boulder quality? I can't even remember.
I don't think he was here bouldering. Simon on the zone, questioning what to do, and he's managed to find the palm.
Now he looks down at his foot because he was a bit blind.
Just missing that left hand. But he knows what to do now.
And there's Dohyun, who's working his way over to the left. That's all go. Rain stopping a bit. I can mainly tell from the camera. Myself and Alana yesterday, we spent a lot of time staring out at the sky in a really intense way to try to see the rain. Turns out it's hard to see rain. Little fact for you there.
It's definitely cooler today, though, than it has been over the last few days.
Yeah, very good point. And it said at the beginning of the graphic, 18 degrees, the clouds are here, the rain has come, because this stadium tends to bake in the heat.
Yeah, for sure. There's not much, well, definitely for spectating, there's not much shade. I think the wall just about manages to stay in the shade, but stood on the mats, like the competitors yesterday looked pretty sweaty.
Yeah. It's a good way to describe it. Myself and Molly are up in the middle of that blue platform you can see. There's a VIP area with the white tent. We're beneath it in the box, so we get a good view of the stadium. Zan working his way over, hits the mats in frustration. Togan gets the Superman-style move.
I think there's a little jib where his left foot is on that big volume. Into the press.
Middle fingers catches the pocket. trying to see that jib. It's
tiny.
It's hiding under his foot. No, there it is. You can see the two. You can see the screws more than the hole.
You can, for sure.
Simon is launching up through the crimps once more. 41 seconds. He's got the zone. And again, he does that awkward look down at his left foot.
Nice. Sticks the move.
Should have it from here, really. It's not a bad hold on top. Latches it.
And his second top, a really great start to this event.
Yeah, so he could make a play for the finals here. We've got 3 Japanese athletes at the very end to come. Ritsu Kayatani, Meiichi Narasaki, Sarato, and Raku.
Is it a bit early to start predicting scores for finals?
Definitely, but I'm going to put a cross right now on some names, okay? Which I'm not going to reveal, but I'll let you know at the end how well I've done.
That's a good game.
You can play that at home as well. All right, let's have a look. So next up is, who's next up? Nicolas Colin from Belgium is coming on to the stage.
Alex back out for the slab.
Yeah, we get to see these holds that we've had so much discussion. We put a social media post up on the IFSC's Instagram about these holds, so you can go and watch that. And there was a lot of opinions, put it like that.
Certainly were.
Some loved them, some hated them, but whatever you feel about them, they're on the wall, and the athletes have to get used to them, and they have got used to them. This is the 3rd time we've seen them.
I think so. I'm excited to see Alex on the slab. I think this is a bit of a safe space for him.
Yeah,
he's won some competitions off of a slab.
He has. Well, Quiff a couple of years ago when he had a finger injury and accidentally won the competition.
So Alex Megos, huh?
He said to me, he was like, I'm just not going to try. I've got this injury. It's not going to happen. And he wins the thing. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, so I said earlier it finishes at 2. It actually finishes at 3:30. Sorry about that. Got it wrong. Right, I've made my selection as well of my top 6. So we'll see how many of those get through. Jakob Schubert climbs later on. He's had not the best season by his standards, so it's good that he's found some form here in the semi-finals in his home country.
The home crowd always seem to help Jakob out, so I'm really looking forward to hearing the crowd and seeing Jakob in the semi-final later today.
Yeah, can't wait. And then Jesse and Jakob will be doing the lead, and they've both had success here in the past. Look at this from Alex. Now, this is the really tricky move, that step through to the zone hold. And the judges were having some debate with the... Oh, hang on, what's going on here? So there's a...
Bit of a technical incident on it. The 3rd boulder, maybe some loose screws?
Yeah, it could be. So the setter is certainly... He's got a drill out, and Martin will get this time back, and he's going to leave the stage for the time being. And they've adjusted it now. So Martin will leave, and they'll bring him on later on to make up that time.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we have Alex on the slab again, trying to make this transition over to the zone. Looks like a foot-first transition, which I think would be quite... Oh, nice. Good work, Alex.
Yeah, stops it with the right. And the zone hold, although it looks tiny, is quite useful for pulling across sideways. But when he slips... It's so fascinating to me, the difference between the outside light on those 360 holds. It's easier for the athletes on the stage, but for us at home, it all looks fairly similar, the texture and no texture.
Yeah, definitely. There's a whole lot of no text on that, though.
There is a lot. So Martin is now back on, and he's still pointing to the screw. So I think what he's saying is the screw is sticking out from the wall. And I don't know if this is a replay of... Is it a replay of what happened? Yeah, that was a replay of what happened. And there it is. So that screw is the offending screw. And I think he's saying it's maybe sharp to hold on to.
Definitely don't want to cut your finger open on a...
No. Alex wobbles but holds on. And he's looking good now, 1 hold away. Well, Molly, you've held that top hold, as you said. What's it like?
It goes in a bit, but I probably wouldn't be launching to it. But looks like there's another coordination move. Something you definitely need the foot on to hold. And, whoa, another top foot.
Nicolas Colin, he gets it done. Yeah, the setters, I was watching them practice the slab this morning, and they kept falling off it and doing the scream. And Cody, the route setter, just turned to me and said, yeah, there's going to be a lot of that. And watching Alex do exactly that, I could see his point now. Yifei Pan is still going. Alex is still going. There's a technical incident on boulder number 3, and then Nicholas Colin did boulder number 1. We have a minute to go for Alex. Watch this again.
Turns out that penultimate handhold is a mono,
Yes,
which Alex will probably really enjoy, being based quite close to the Frankenjuror.
Look at that look on his face then. It's one of those slabs where you're on the ground before you realise you've fallen off.
Yeah, for sure. There's probably a bit of an impatience as well to get back up to try that last move again, and we all know you can't rush a slab.
No, you can't. What was the boulder you fell on to break your ankle, by the way?
It was Suavito at Gardens in the Peak District. A beautiful 7B, kind of like pillar boulder, kind of notorious for its dodgy landings, so maybe not the wisest move to make before travelling to a World Cup.
All right, Alex leaves. He got the zone. Yifei Pan leaves. He didn't get the zone. Oh, no, he did get the zone. He did get the zone. Yeah, and now we'll wait and see on boulder 3. I'm not sure when they'll bring Martin on to redo that, whether it will be now or later on, but we'll see. Let's watch Yifei Pan. Bumped out to the left. Couldn't hold the side ball. So Martin's not on at the moment, but as we can see, someone's not climbing on boulder 1, and this is how they'll make up the time, he says. Having no communication with the judges to know, but that's what I presume.
I think that's a good guess. So Dohyun out on the slab?
Yeah, down on the right, and there's Zan on the left. So the athlete we're waiting for is Colin Duffy, because he'll be the one who's being delayed. Dohyun straight up into this position. Quite easy at the beginning, it seems. It's all about this section.
Oh, and almost saves the loss of balance there. He's pretty good at a slab, right?
He is, yeah. I mean, I always say it, but he's Jongwon's prodigy.
Yeah.
And I had this wonderful moment doing some filming recently in South Korea where they were both sitting on the mats talking about Jongwon's chalking ritual.
Really?
And he was teaching Dohyun what he did backstage, and he's got this whole process, 3 minutes before he applies liquid chalk, he does all this stuff, and they were sitting there doing the flappy arm dance, sitting on the mats, learning from each other. It was really cool.
That's really sweet.
Ooh, falls back to save it with the palm.
Seen some good saves in this comp. Miho Nanaka yesterday in
yes.
finals. That was something else.
It really was.
Go back and watch that if you've not seen it.
Yeah, whatever your opinion was on last night's finals, it was certainly dramatic. Dohyun falls. Yeah, it was. There was a lot to unpack from last night, so go and have a look.
Zan figuring out the complex hand sequence on this M2.
I guess this is one of those boulders where that patch of chalk that you spotted with the fingers, that's only going to get bigger. Of course, they'll brush it.
For sure.
But the ones coming at the end will have more of an idea.
Yeah, it's probably in... Oh, there's a good shot of that last hold.
Oh, it's rubbish. I thought it was sinker.
Yeah, it's probably down to the route setters how much of a clue the earlier athletes get in terms of beta on that move. You know, the bigger the chalk patch, maybe the more obvious it is. Simon lining up for this last move.
Yeah, this is Alex Megos got way over to the left, but there's chalk on every bit of it. He goes for the double catch in. Because there's chalk on the bottom of that hold and on the right and the left. There's lots of options they could go for. So he rocked up on the heel, and actually the heel popped before he got the hands on. I think that's what sent him down.
Yeah, he was almost into the good part of that finish hold, but not quite. Ooh.
Yeah, there's a lot of... I was about to say,
that was quite the smackdown.
It was, isn't it? We have got some... There's mics directly on the wall and on the mat, so if you hear big bangs and slaps, it's not... Oh, look at this with Dohyun. So he's onto the final hold. But what he's standing on, there's nothing. You can see him trying to find a textured surface.
That white part of the hold must be split exactly down the middle.
Yeah, I think you're right. And he's standing up on that zone is not intended, and it's a terrible hold.
Yeah.
And you've got the tape on the top of it, which would slide a little if you tried to hit it. So the slab we've seen, in fact, no zones either on it.
No zones.
Which is a bit strange.
That is
Look
interesting.
at the score. Because, yeah, we've seen lots of athletes touch it, but haven't been awarded it. And boulder number 1, if you missed the saying earlier, that's being delayed. Colin Duffy not coming on because of a technical incident involving a screw on boulder number 3. So Martin needs to come onto that boulder. So, oh, look at this atop. Seaman gets it done the second time. It was the heel that popped.
Yeah, really interesting method there. I think that was a good example of kind of making the boulder work for you.
Good work from him. So, boulder number 3 has been finished. 21 seconds to go. Dohyun will go again, and I'm not sure he's going to try to stand on that zone. It looked like a really tricky way of doing it. He falls. Do you like a slab in competitions? I mean, like, I always see you as like a physical swinging around.
Definitely more of a physical climber, but I have grown to like a slab, actually. And do you know what? I think it might be the broken ankle that has made me enjoy a slab a bit more.
Really? Does it
which
not hurt
makes no
standing on
sense.
it?
A little bit, but it's, yeah, because I spent so long kind of like building confidence, working on that, strengthening my calf and everything. Like, I actually quite enjoy it now, the like slower pace of a slab, the kind of delicate nature of them.
Maybe it's one of those things where because you couldn't stand on your feet for so long, now you can, you enjoy it.
You might be right. Yeah.
Grass is always greener.
It's so true.
All right, Colin is on, so he was delayed because of the technical thing, but he's now back on. Now, double gold medalist from last year. So if we talk about stadiums that athletes like,
yes,
he's going to enjoy this.
Yes, I think I saw an Instagram post from him before the event, kind of just saying how much he was looking forward to competing in Innsbruck. So clearly a place that he likes to compete at, and yeah, hopefully that will help him bring good feelings into this round, and it's off to a good start.
Yeah, he flashes into just before the zone hold. And now he's chalking up like a decent lead climber should. Up with the left hand to the zone. If Pan falls. Stick with Colin as he looks for the right hand slap.
Nicely done. Statics, that right reach out.
This could be a flash from Colin. He needs to match this final hold. Right hand gets it. It will be a flash. Celebrates before touching it, which terrifies me, but he's got it done. There should be a rule. Every coach should sit down before and say, listen, do not do that.
I'm pretty sure they do.
Really? I suppose, considering you went climbing before a World Cup and broke your ankle, athletes don't always listen.
Yes. This is a very good point. I have learnt my lesson, though.
Have you?
We'll see.
We'll see. All right, boulder 1 done quickly by Colin Duffy. We're watching a replay of it now. He got the palm in and then one last big bump out to the final hold. Look how much his left toe is working, pressing into the yellow to keep him in.
Yufei making good progress on boulder 3 into the last move and opting for a high left heel as well.
Yeah, so he's got to make sure it doesn't pop, because you have to sort of dynamically rock through it, and he falls, bringing the right in. And that's Martin on boulder 4.
Yeah.
So that means that Martin will finish his round, and then at some point they'll put him back on boulder 3. Yufei with the slow motion grimace. Now you're aware of how slow the slow motion are. What do you should pull some faces just so I can joke about it on the stream.
Yeah. Also dating a photographer, I'm like, oh, you get everyone's worst faces, don't you? You get all the try hard.
Do you get to preview the photos that he edits?
I
just
don't.
Say no.
I don't.
No.
No. But I just trust.
Risky, risky. Nicholas screams as he bumps left. Comes into the zone, and this should be a flash send for him. Is that the flash send? What was he doing for 2 minutes? Can't be, surely. Molly's just checking that one. Maybe just spent a long time looking at it.
That was...
We're waiting for the scores. Yifei Pan is left into the dish. He fell on the heel before.
That was a second go for Nicholas.
Okay, that makes more sense. So Yifei brings the heel up. Now this is where he fell before.
Let's see if he goes left hand to the good bit, which I think is pretty essential for this last move.
Yeah, he touched the good bit. Yeah, before he brought his right hand in, and as you said, that's the worst bit of the hold. So he's got a minute. The slab still proving elusive. No zones, no tops on that. So we've got a flash, a top, and 2 nose sends. That graphic is fairly new. That's coming in on the split screen. I quite like it, actually. It just reminds me more than anything what's been going on, because there's so much action in this semi-final.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to keep on top of it.
Superman swing out.
It's amazing how quickly people can climb boulders once they've managed to figure out the moves. It's like once you climb it once, like you can then just rep it out super quick. That's why we all have to practice boulders again and again and again, even after we do them in training.
So it's like a learnt movement, so it's in your body somewhere, so when you find a boulder, you remember the feeling.
Yeah, I think there's the mental piece, like you know you can do it, so you attack each move a little bit more with confidence. But yeah, in training, once I do a move that takes me a while, rather than being like, cool, I've done the move, I never have to do it again, I then try and do it 3 times in a row.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, this is why I love having athletes up here. I get to learn all these things that I could implement in my own climbing, but I probably won't.
There's nothing more frustrating than falling on the last move and not being able to get back up there.
Yeah, I almost immediately give up. All right, Colin, is that no? So Dylan Countryman is on boulder number 1. And now we're seeing this bump in boulder. So boulder number 2, now there won't be an athlete because we need to make room for Martin to come back onto boulder number 3. And I presume Martin will come back quite soon after his rest period. So it should re-even itself out again.
This is Dylan's first semi-final. This seems to be his first year competing on the World Cup circuit. He's only 17 years old, and he's been making steady progress throughout all of the World Cups.
Yeah, he was very good in Dallas for the youth last year. The Youth World Championships is in Korea this time around.
Yeah, it's amazing how many of these youngsters are doing like basically a full World Cup season and all of the major youth events too.
Yeah, well, someone like Annie Sanders, who's just 15, pretty ridiculous. And then, well, Sarato, who's out late, is 16.
Ritsu's 17 as well, I think.
It's getting younger and younger, isn't it?
It really is.
Look at this, he's trying. It's a great shot as he stands on the friction part, bumps out towards the zone.
Let's see, has anyone been given the zone on this boulder yet?
Yeah, and I'm trying to work that out still, because I mean, it's something the judges were talking a lot about, and the route setters were trying to say, look, if you touch the zone and move your hips, then it should count as using it, but...
Maybe it's because every time someone moves over to weight that right foot, they take their hand off of the zone.
Yeah.
And it's like a no-handed movement, which, yeah, I think there's a, you know, everyone we've seen on the last move deserves the zone on that boulder.
Yeah, I think so. But, yeah.
Like this. Simon kind of just like throwing his hips over that foot, but to have your hand down on the zone, I think that wouldn't really allow you to get the body positioning right to fully weight that foot.
Yeah, you can see there the big right foot pop. And you're going to see a lot of that. So Dylan starts to move over to the left, but struggling on the first sequence. Simon goes again, oh, pops right at the beginning. Maybe starting to rush a little bit. Needs to slow down on the first bit. It's not too difficult, just got to be precise.
He's probably quite excited. He's in a really good position right now, 3 tops out of 3. And I bet he just wants it with everything to kind of have that perfect round 4 boulders.
Yeah, and he wasn't one of the names I ticked when I picked my selection, so he's already messing things up.
Colin into the zone on boulder 3. Is that Colin?
No, so that's Zan on boulder 3, Dylan on boulder 1, and this is Simon who could top out here because he's in a static position. He does. Well, 4 out of 4. Simon might be in for a finals position here.
A great round from him.
His best finish in the World Cup has been 5th, and he's been 12th and 14th this year. So this is possibly a PB for 23 for him. Let's have a look. Is he standing on an... Is that textured? It's hard to tell. Oh, there's a dish underneath as well, like a mono. Oh, you said that earlier, didn't you?
It's impossible to tell. You can see the reflection now on that black and white hold. Like which bits are textured, which bits aren't, where there's small dimples and holes in the holds.
Yeah, it's the first time that I've struggled to see it. I mean, there you can see it, where his right foot is.
So he managed to get his right foot out first before moving up to that final hold, and that kind of... I think you need the right foot on to be able to hold that last hold, so that was really good climbing from Simon.
Yeah, so he leads the way with 4 tops out of 4. Nicholas after that. Yifei Pan is down the bottom, but we haven't finished things yet, and Zan misses the left hand. A big scream. He picks up the chalk bag one more time. It's one of those rounds. I've heard a lot of screaming on this one. It seems frustrating.
Yeah, the boys are very like emotive in their climbing as well. They definitely give quite a lot, which is always entertaining.
So he got his hands on the good bit, but didn't really have any feet. He's got time to have another go at it. Looks very smooth for the first part. See, he's not standing on the jib. Still not on it. So Zan can't get it done. All right, we have this transition period, 15 seconds for the brushes to do the work, the athletes to leave, because there is only one tunnel in and out. Let's have a look at Zan as he matched briefly the side pull, head in his hands, and frustration from him.
Yoshiyuki Ogata out next on boulder 1, and I have a feeling he's going to enjoy this first move.
Yes, I think you might be right. That's a good prediction, that one. Yeah, Yoshiyuki got a medal in Brixton, which is great to see. Super popular as well. Everyone seems to like Yoshiyuki. He was nervous back in Japan at the start of the season. Look at that, though. Beautiful.
Just as requested.
Yeah, Molly called it.
Let's see what he makes of this top section. Seems everyone has used the same method, really, but we're seeing something different.
Oh, I'll put another line on the board, so it's 4 now. Ogata slaps in. That's a flash from him. Easy, he can relax a little bit. And Colin Duffy stands well back on the very edge of the pad, which I'm quite surprised about because it's still raining out there, and that's the part of the wall that does get wet.
Maybe trying to have a cheeky look at the other boulders. The boys do like to do that.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. He's going to have to make sure his shoes are dry. Yifei Pan is on the hard part. Steps over, nothing for the hands, of course, apart from that terrible zone pebble thing. Seemingly the only one to unlock it as we're nearing the halfway point of the comp. And Colin's rested a long time on this. Good first starting position, the positive crimps.
Let's see what... Oh, he's looking to maybe roll over into the zone.
Bumps the hands a couple of times.
Tendons are a bit sore watching this.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he obviously spent time thinking about that move as a method.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing a lot of climbing in his head.
Yeah, he is. Checks the clock.
Looking a little bit lost. Maybe trying to conserve energy.
Yeah, so Colin really thinking about this. Bit of a chess game going on. Guy stands up. This was the move he dropped before, so not bad to this point. Starts with no hands, leaves that volume. Ooh. Hits the volume on the way down. Drops. And we're seeing a lot of that. Athletes like climbing with the chalk bag, almost like throwing it off, just like, I'm done with this. Colin has had another think, and he's pulling on again. What will he try this time?
Back to the normal method. Left hand to the zone. Let's see if he switches into a palm. Halfway there with the pinch.
And the left foot popped then.
Colin's pretty vocal when he doesn't like a boulder.
Yeah, he has this look that he does out to the audience, which always seems to be straight into the camera, and it looks like straight at us.
Yeah.
Like it's sort of our fault that he's falling. But he's just very, very passionate about it, and this being one of his favourite venues, he wants to do well here. Nicholas almost holds the side pull.
Trying to flip that right hand to kind of control that move, but I don't think there's much to hold you in on that right hand.
I think so.
Ballerina feet from Yufei Pan on the slab.
Oh yeah, what position is that? Is that?
And some odd shoes. Has he changed between
I think
the
he
last
did,
two attempts?
Yeah. It's the first time I've noticed it anyway.
Oh, we might have our first zone, I reckon.
Right, well, we'll wait for it to be updated. But yeah, we go.
Nice. Oh, Alex has now been awarded the zone as well, so there must have been some appeals happening in the background.
Yeah, and I was surprised because what a fall. Yeah, so maybe that's something the judges will now adjust. Like now, a couple of appealers have come through. They'll know what's okay and what's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever is the judge on that final ball. In fact, I know who the judge is. I met her this morning and she was looking very worried.
I'm not surprised. I do not envy her.
No. All right, well, about halfway through, the crowd has been filtering in. There's a cafe here as well. Colin's just held off the back. Yeah, so people are drinking coffee, eating some lunch, watching the bouldering. It's a nice place to be. And everyone's shoved to the side. That's what the volunteer was doing there, just to let the other athletes out. Sansuda on M4. M3 left clean this time because of that technical incident. And Hannes van Dyssen is on. Now, Hannes made her first first finals in Japan and got a medal.
He's had an amazing year so far. Is this his first year on the circuit, or was he around last year?
Yeah, you have a look, because I can't remember. I mean, he's super young. He's come through on the youth for a while.
Oh, he's been competing in the World Cups for the last 2 years. He's only 18, but he started very young.
And certainly one to watch. And there is Martin. So that's why Boulder 3. And this, okay, so this is explaining it. So Martin, the technical incident happened about halfway through. And there is a 2-minute time they just kind of give you if there's a problem. So we're expecting him to come through
in about a minute's time.
Yeah. And then we'll get back to normal without the missing boulders. Dylan pops the left hand, slapped into the palm. And there he goes. Martin's on. So forget the 2-minute thing. He's got 3 minutes 50.
Zan working his way across the slab. Not quite finding the balance point.
So Martin straight into the Superman. He'll get his second zone at the comp. Into the dish. Touched it, but needed to readjust to hold it.
Just misses that jib.
Okay, so Hannes is having a look at the jump. And let's see this again. This is Martin. Oh, I kind of missed it. Yeah, a bit too high.
A really good competition for the Belgian team. All 3 men in semi-finals, I think.
Chloe couldn't make it. Chloe Collier, who's also in that team, couldn't make the women's.
A lot more standing on the mats now compared to the beginning of the semi-final.
Yeah, and 3 white uniforms on stage, so that's Dylan and then the 2 Slovenian climbers on the right, and then the bright yellow of Hannes on the left. So Molly, how long are you in Innsbruck for this time?
I'm going home on Monday, so just till the end of the competition, and then back out about 8 days later for the Lead World Cup in Villars. Just taking all the small opportunities I get to go home between the competitions, because it's so tiring being on the road.
Yeah, and it's a long season.
It's a really long season.
So Martin, fingers on, but can't get it at the same time. Zan fell off boulder 4, and Hannes comes down, and more frustration. A lot of emotion going on the mats. The rain falling much heavier now. You might start to see the athletes come out with the plastic covering on their shoes. Brooke last night was doing that.
Yeah, you have to prepare for any weather possibilities in Innsbruck. It can be super hot and sunny. 5 minutes later, it's crashing down with rain.
Always
every
seems to
year.
rain here, yeah. And there's lightning warnings. We have to stop comps because of storms. So it's, yeah, we never know what's going to happen, but hopefully tonight's final won't be disrupted in any way. Whoa. Zan was on for a sec, then had to readjust the right and fell. Dylan gets the left foot up, rocks into the zone.
Just under a minute left for all these athletes on stage.
Yeah, so our top 6 ends in Yoshiki Ogata with that flash. Simon, we expect to make finals? I mean, I don't know how many people are going to get 4 tops out there today.
Yeah, we're only halfway through, so it's still early days, I guess. And a lot of strong climbers left to come.
Imagine not making finals with 4 tops.
4 tops, I know. Crazy.
Should be a rule. Martin and his big Superman jump gets it, but it's the move coming up that's proving problematic for him. He gets the dish with the left easily, but it's this pop.
See if he changes something. Not this time.
All right, Tomoe Narasaki runs on the left. His teammate Yoshiyuki Ogata is next to him on M2, and on boulder 3, I don't know who that is. Is that Colin on boulder 3? My eyes need testing here.
Stood back again, maybe it's Colin.
Yeah, it is Colin. It is Colin. Yeah, he's doing a lot of thinking. It's because he tends to be one of those climbers who just throws himself at boulders, so maybe a change in the way he's approaching it.
Maybe slightly more tactical climbing, knowing that he's still got hopefully 3 to 4 more rounds of competition to do. Big cheer for Tomoe. He's had a bit of an up and down season this year.
He has, but he has also got a new baby in the middle of it all.
This is true. I mean, if ever there's an excuse.
Yeah, he hasn't, I don't think he's missed a World Cup yet either.
No. I mean, he's not done too badly. He still has won a World Cup.
Yes.
So, but we've had, he's missed finals twice, which I'd say is pretty uncharacteristic of Tomoe.
Absolutely. I want Tomoe's child versus Adam's child.
Shauna's child in there
Shauna's
as
child,
well.
That's true.
There's, yeah.
Oh my
There's going to be a
goodness.
really exciting comp generation
It's a
coming
kid
through.
off. I wonder if any of them will climb as well, because there's always that pressure, isn't it? As if you got your parents as climbers, like your kids tend to not necessarily want to follow your parents' footsteps.
For sure.
Which would be a shame.
But we've seen some pretty successful cases in the Rabatou family.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, there's some big examples of that. So we'll see. I think it might be, I don't think I'll be around to watch that, but you never know. croaking away in the commentary box.
Still here.
Still here. They've asked me to leave.
It's only, what,
go.
like 15 years to wait.
Oh, gosh, that's depressing, isn't it? All right, Colin Duffy jumping up to the zone. Huge swing that he holds with the shoulders. And then on the right. Who's that? Is that Simon on the right?
Nicholas.
No, not Simon, Nicholas, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so Tomoa got that big shout at the beginning. He hasn't got the zone yet.
Colin searching for that tiny foot that we can only see from its screw hold.
So Colin pressing underneath. Falls in more frustration from Colin. Yoshiki's number is hanging off, and he might get that stuck back on. There's some pins hanging in there. Nicholas, left foot on, needs to bump this right foot over. And look, we can see the screw on now on the top of your screen. That's what they're standing on. It's really hard to see it from the wide, but that's all they've got there. There it is, so very slopey. And it's good to see that, because now we understand why everyone keeps falling off it.
Yeah.
So Colin Duffy with the Black Diamond chalk bag. Black Diamond, a big sponsor of this event, and they have their offices around the corner, so it's good to have them in the building. So Colin about to stand on the foothold you watched. There he is with the left foot on it. Don't know what happened there.
Maybe just getting a bit more frustrated and almost a little bit too emotional.
Yeah, he's been very measured so far, but it's starting to get to him a bit.
Yeah, being able to keep control of your emotions is part of the game as well.
And he's still in 4th position. I'd really like Colin to get through as well after last year. He keeps going into the swing. Nicholas is just shouting into the air.
Nico awarded the zone though, so maybe we'll be seeing a few more zones on that slab.
Yeah, we wait for the appeals to come through on that one. Colin back and forth, tries this very dynamically. Why not? 40 seconds to go.
Shakes his head, not the way. We've not really seen much of Tamura on his first boulder.
No, we haven't. Let's have a look on the top left as Yoshiki hits the pads. Yeah, Tomoa's struggling. He's done.
Gives a wave and he's out.
Yeah, 22 seconds. Nicholas has one last go on this.
Looking good. Looking like he's...
Oh, that right foot. And he's got the zone and he won't have time. And Colin sits on the mats as well in frustration, but he's got a zone and he is still in 4th position. So you can see the wet part of the stage, so it's pretty sheltered, the main wall. I want to avoid standing on that slippy bit, obviously. Kokoro Fuji is on.
It's good to see him back after a brief period of time away from comps due to an elbow injury in Seoul.
Yes, yep.
Glad he could make a quick recovery.
Yeah, it looked really painful, that elbow.
Did.
I was right on the side of the mats when it happened. I watched the physio just immediately sort of exit to go back. Yeah. And you can see it strapped up there. So good to have him back. And then Hannes is having a look at the powerful crinkly boulder 2. Boulder 4 missing, just to catch up with that Martin incident. Last time we'll see that, I think. Kokoro has time to wave to the audience when his name's announced. And Riney and Flo are the MCs for the end. Riney owning this gym. So thank you for hosting us. Hannes, good foot match.
Finds the palm.
So good on his feet, isn't he?
Another foot match.
But this is a blind slap around the corner, and he can't quite hold it.
Just tickled it.
Ooh, look at that from Dylan, scissoring his legs.
Photographer's dream, this first move.
Where's Sam? The other IFSC photographers, Jan Vert and Lena Drapella, in the house as well, taking photos. So do go and check out the IFSC Instagram and their Instagrams. All right, Dylan stands on the left foot, Tried to drop the right foot under.
Going maybe a little bit too dynamically to that small jib.
Just joining us, we're in Innsbruck, Austria. My name is Matt Groom. I've got Molly Thompson-Smith from Team GB in the commentary box. And tonight is the men's final, and you're watching the semi-final. And Kokoro is doing method number 2 of our list of how to do this.
I think one of the things I love most about watching the Japanese climb is that they look like they're having the best time. It's so nice to see, like, big smiles, enjoyment. Like, I feel like you can really read what's going on in their heads, like, oh, I got close, or, you know, it's really nice to watch.
Yeah, and that's always a surprise, considering how pressurized it must be in that team just to get a ticket to these events.
Exactly.
All right, Dylan gets the left foot up. A big jump into the zone, and again, the photographer's dream move. This is the palm under as he steps to the bad left foot.
Just losing it.
Doesn't like it, does he? Taps it, trying to get some kind of a purchase, but there's not much in that. And the left hand is bad. It's a really awful sort of 2-finger dish. I like these brushes as well. The adjustable ends.
Yeah, a good brush makes all the difference.
I can't remember where it was. They had these amazing coloured brushes.
Oh, I remember this too.
Yeah, and it was like a competition.
But they painted ones.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. And apparently it was a local school competition who could paint the brushes, and the best designs got to be on the mat.
That's amazing.
I thought it was a lovely idea, yeah. No idea where that was.
Bring them back.
Yeah. All right, minute 20 seconds to go. No one's sending, no one, yet to finish in this round. Dylan was spiralling off that, but he holds on.
Deep breath into the tricky section on this Boulder 3. Corey back on men's one as well. Oh,
Really holds it that time.
looking so floaty up to there.
Floaty is a very good way to describe it, yeah. He does that sometimes, though. He has that sort of, he's very, very powerful on the one-armers, but he just flows between the sequences.
Just moves upwards.
Yeah.
See if Hannes can make this second boulder work.
Yeah, squats down on that left hand, bumps thumb in. This is what most people are doing. Look at the footwork from him there, brilliant.
You can hear his teammate Chloe willing him up, and he sticks that go again.
All right, from here, we'd hope he gets it, and he needs it, because he hasn't got a score on the board yet. Nice work from Hannes. It's an interesting place to put a zone, that, because once you've got that zone, it's almost over. So if you get the zone, you tend to get the top.
Yeah, the zone positioning is I'm always really interested as to where the setters put the zones, like, say, with the third boulder. I mean, pretty much everyone's done the first move, right? And then there's a lot of climbing to go, and quite a few splits.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that and order of boulders is something that we just take for granted, but the setters spend a long time thinking about.
Yeah.
And also, it's one of those things that gets negotiated a bit as well, because there's at certain venues, some broadcasters want the boulders to go in sequence, and sometimes they don't mind, and it's always this conversation, let's say.
Yeah.
All right, your teammate, Toby Roberts, is on. He got a bronze in Salt Lake, gold in Brixton. How is Toby doing at the moment?
I think Toby's on fire. Like, as a team, we're really proud of him. It's almost kind of expected not to take the shine off of his achievements, but, you know, you can kind of tell when someone's going to be successful, and we've been watching Toby for a few years. He's achieved so much already, and yeah, this season it kind of all just came together for him.
Yeah, his gold was the first gold for a British male in 16 years.
I got a bit emotional watching that final.
Me too.
Very quick top for Tomoa.
Yeah, flash for him. Gets
back
it done.
in the game.
Yeah, he's back. Struggled with boulder number 1, but he's on the leaderboard now, and Toby slaps up towards the left. Yeah, Toby at one point was definitely a lead specialist, and he's flicked into this boulder mode.
Within the last year, he's been incredible at lead for a few years now, but his boulder, he was definitely a little bit behind the rest of the men on our team. And over the last winter, he literally did all of the work. All of the work that was possible and slightly not possible to do. Worked on slabs, worked on all of his weaknesses, trained basically 10 hours in the gym.
Wow.
Like several days in a row. Yeah, I honestly wasn't sure he would make it out of winter training, but it seems to have worked.
He survived, he's here.
I can eat my hat.
Right, that's a great shot to show what they have to stand on, because not only is it no text and text, it's also the shape of it means you can't get all of the rubber onto it. Toby misses the slap, but he's getting closer to it.
Toby's really good at maybe not looking super close on his first go, but go by go, he's making good progression, and by the end of his time, I'm confident he can do this boulder. I
feel for his dad, because whenever Toby falls off a boulder, his dad, and if I happen to be there, dad turns to me and just goes, he doesn't make it easy, does he? No, he doesn't.
Yeah, it's almost more interesting watching Tristan watch his son climb than watching Toby climb.
Absolutely. Well, Colin is trying to stand on that 360 hole. More frustration for him, and he's slipping down the leaderboard as well, as is Dohyun Lee, who's now down at the bottom.
Yoshiyuki into this last move. Is he going to go for the foot method or the palm method?
Palm it is.
But I don't think there was quite enough commitment to the method.
No, he was always a bit far out on that.
But hopefully next go he'll be slightly less tentative, and I think if he gave it all of the Yoshiyuki power he had, it would be comfortable.
There we go, just give it everything. And Colin again slips on the move, and just you got a feel for him, he just doesn't quite know what to do.
I think he was questioning whether he got given the zone then as well.
Ah, okay. Yeah, because he was looking around. I didn't know if he was looking for a map.
Yeah, I think he was saying zone.
Yeah. Has he been awarded? Looking at the score.
I don't think
hasn't.
so.
But we've seen a few appeals. Oh, now he has.
He
has. There we go. Bumps up to third.
Toby coming close on this first boulder, but trying to take the cut on one arm, which I'm sure Toby could do it, but maybe not the easiest way. And I think everyone else has caught this yellow hold with two hands.
So will Toby make that adjustment? He's got a minute to do it. And boulder one in the top 6 has been climbed quite a lot, so it could be important this. So Toby, a bit of pressure.
Only Alex managing to get the zone, but not the top, but probably due to lack of time towards the end.
Yeah, he was really close, wasn't he? So Toby, let's stick with him. Right hand. Oh, he almost held it.
That was as close as you could possibly get to holding that with one arm.
He tried to palm with the right hand on the blue volume. Slightly missed it. But that does mean I think he's going to try it again.
Yeah, he's not got much time, but a zone is incredibly valuable. So it's definitely worth him resting a little bit and just trying to get that zone.
So he's got 14 seconds and he'll go once more. One hand, he's not going to catch it like that.
He's just a bit tired and he's disappointed.
All right, so Toby will leave, have to reset. Colin jumps down, his comp is done, but he's sitting in third. Nicholas Conan second, Simon Lorenzi first. I've gone all out of order here. Alex Megos fourth, Yoshiyuki fifth, and Dohyun Lee sixth. That's our top 6 as it stands. So raincoats on in the audience. It's stopped raining. Although there's one umbrella up, just in case.
Out next, we have Sam Avazoom, who had a really good qualification round yesterday. It was really nice to watch him climb.
Yeah,
Sister narrowly missing out on finals as well.
Yeah, very talented family. And the French team, just incredible this year. Oriane Berton winning her first gold medal in Prague. She beat Yanya that time. Oriane not here in Innsbruck.
Very good first go from Sam.
All right, so Sam on the left, Kokoro Fuji, Hannes van Dyssen, and then there's Dylan Countryman. So everyone so far gets to this point, and then this is where it unravels for them. Left foot through.
It's like textbook slab footwork.
It's one of those boulders I wouldn't go anywhere near in the gym, you know, like really low marginal.
Me neither.
No, it's horrible. But Hannes will enjoy it in a minute, but he's got some footwork to do here as well. Sam, super smooth for the first part, nearly sticks it. Got 2 hands in, and that was the difference between Toby's method we watched before and Sam and most other people grabbing with 2 hands. Caught the swing, but fell.
Music ramped up.
Yeah, it really is.
As Dylan tries to calmly climb this slab.
I think the DJ took that moment when everyone was resting to kind of pump things up a bit. Dylan falls on that move that sent so many people down to the mats. Hannes 2-finger catch on the zone hold. Resets the feet.
And Sam sticks the jump on the first boulder.
Yes, this could be a zone for him. He needs to use this hold, which he does now, so he'll get the points.
Seems you need that left heel in the yellow hold to be able to do this move. Nicely climbed.
There's the chop, slaps it, gets a thumb in, matches.
Solid chop from Sam.
Yeah, and fairly quick on a boulder like that as well.
Third try.
Good work from him. So 2 minutes, he will leave and have a rest. Sticking with Kokoro on boulder 2, Hannes on boulder 3, and Dylan on boulder 4. Let's watch a replay of Sam. Once he got that, it was pretty easy. Once he had the undercling in, made the match. Good work. All right. Well, a minute and a half to go. Dylan is just this move over and over again. And as you said earlier on, it's frustrating because you have to climb through the bottom sequence, but it's not that difficult on the bottom sequence.
Yeah. Hannah's back to the same move again. Seems to be quite cruxy this round. People falling off the same move of each boulder.
What do you mean by proxy?
Cruxy, sorry.
Cruxy,
Yeah,
sorry.
cruxy.
I was trying to process proxy then. I was like, yeah, no, you're right. There's certain boulders have certain moves that are just really difficult, and that tends to be the sticking point. Yeah, I'm learning words at the moment. I had a lâcher last night.
Oh,
With the
yeah,
front
I've
swing.
seen this on Insta. I didn't know that's what it was called.
I had no idea either. And we had one of our French media crews was messaging me saying what it meant in French.
Oh.
So thank you guys for that. So Dylan gets easily into the move once again. Kokoro is stood up towards the zone. And everyone is starting to rush here as the clock ticks down. 20 seconds to go. Kokoro might be done. He is done. Hannes is still going. And that will probably be it. So hands on his hips. Dylan leaves as well. So 2 zones atop and no score on that round. See a replay of Hannes. And it's coming out. There's a jib under there. I hadn't actually seen that.
There might be 2, but they're the ones that have the no text around the outside and they're not giving too much help. But it's something.
It's something, yeah.
Toby back out on the mats for boulder 2, and Jongwon Chon joining us for his first boulder of the semi-final.
Yeah, his teammate's in 6th position. You heard the reaction then. Yeah, he's a real personality. Is Jongwon?
I think Toby will like this second boulder. into the zone straight away.
Yeah, finds the palm. Good reading from him. That palm now way more obvious than when Alex tried it, and there was only fingerprints. Look at this from Toby. Well, he had
super solid.
Yeah, he had a difficult start missing the zone, but this could be a flash, and it is a flash for Toby.
Yeah, nicely done from Toby. I think he had a bit more in the tank there too.
Yeah, well, he's got a long time to rest as well. And at the moment, I mean, we've got a top in the zone in 6th position, so he's not out of the running yet. So Zhongwon brushes those slopers.
Yoshiyuki going for a tactical shoe change.
You know, I always quote you, Molly, because I think this time last year you told me about the speed taping that you do. When you get a cut and you have to, and you practice speed taping. Do you practice the tactical shoe change as well?
I don't. I always take a bag out on the mats with me, and I'm yet to use anything in that bag on the mats, apart from tape. But yeah, I think these white versions of the 510s are a little bit stiffer.
So what, on the slab?
Then the black, yeah.
Yes, they are a bit, yeah. Which is interesting.
Because I thought you'd want to go the other way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Maybe for some like tiny footholds, you'd choose the stiffer pair, but...
I mean, I guess like the part of the hold you're standing on is kind of like an edge because of the curve on it, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe. Right, Samoa spins down, missing the side pull.
Chon still brushing in the corner.
Yes, he's been doing that forever. I think he has climbed in the meantime. Okay, well, everyone waits and brushes and prepares. I'm not sure why they don't have brushes in the semi-final. I think it's up to the individual organisers, but...
It was a bit of a surprise when, like, brushes came back as well. Yeah. It was like, oh, they're back.
Yeah, well, in the US, we had that blue wave of people coming on at the time there was a pause.
That in itself is pretty interesting to watch as well.
Every cameraman was filming that on the climbing.
Yeah. I love the passion there is in the brushing, too.
Hey, it was. Oh, look, Chon's in.
Nice.
On the left, so he could get a zone. And now he does get the zone. So Jongwon Chon looks for the final couple of moves to piece together boulder number 1.
Needs that left heel in, and he's found it.
Yes, and now look, he swings his way over to the right.
Steady.
And Samoa as well is 1 move away.
Good work from Chon.
Gets it done. Right, that's a first send for him.
Samoa's found the palm, but I'm not sure he likes it. It looks like he wants to come down onto it.
So he changed his mind mid-kick there. Got the left, brought the right in, but it wasn't enough to hold him, and he has time to go again.
Maybe just too much power on that last move. I never thought too much power would be a problem.
That's a common problem for me. When Chon tops out and celebrates in a bit of relief.
It seems like the shorter athletes are preferring the high foot method for the last move on this third boulder. I think maybe only Alex made that last move work with the palm.
Yeah, that was a replay of Samoa falling.
Good scream as he's on his way down.
And you can see every limb fell off at a different moment as well. At the left, held to the very last second before pinging.
And he's back on already, 30 seconds left to go. He's not got long to make it work.
No, and he's shaking up in the middle of the route rather on the mats, on the boulder.
Yoshiyuki maybe sticking the zone.
Maybe, yeah. Is he being ordered? No, not yet, so let's wait and see. No score, current... Oh, no, it is a score, so he's got the zone on the right, but not on the top.
He'll be a bit disappointed with that, I think. He's had a little bit of a problem with slabs this season.
Yeah. And you could see him checking with the judge. I think he saw the scoreboard and then just wanted to make sure.
Well, it's bumped him up into 4th place now, so it's definitely an important zone.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. Hannes van Dijssen, and then Jakob Schubert runs onto the mats. And I'm really trying to be neutral. However, if Jakob made a final here tonight, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, this is a great crowd as is, but they're very good at supporting their own, and if Jakob was to be in finals, I think the atmosphere would just be amazing.
It would be. I mean, I don't know if you saw the pictures when he got his Olympic bronze and he got off the plane in Innsbruck and everyone was waiting for him at the airport. It was awesome. And then, of course, winning the world champs here back in the day. So he's got history as Jakob Schubert, and I think of all comps, he would want to win this one.
Yeah, I mean, talk about sentimental places.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is his home. This is his home gym. It's like going to the Foundry or something for you.
That's
or,
so
you know.
true.
Right, here goes Jakob. Sam is next to him. Then Kokoro, and then Hannes is on the slab.
Oh,
Right
that's
hand.
a new method.
Oh, I'm going to put it on the board. We've got 5 now. I've made a note of. Has anyone messaged you about how many methods there are?
I don't think so. Come on, people.
Come on, people. There's got to be some wizards out there. You can make them up. I mean, we're not going to know. Just say feet first. Sam falls, going to the side pull. Hannes fell on the slab. And Kokoro is working his way left.
Someone has told us where the fancy brushes were. It was Munich last year.
Thank you, whoever that was.
Someone has also asked why we don't have any Mejdi or Oriane with us.
Well, Oriane I know is training.
Yeah.
Mejdi I don't know. I think
Also
presumably
probably training.
Yeah.
Just on holiday.
Just chilling out. Yeah, a lot of the athletes are picking and choosing comps this year because the World Champs is a big focus because it's the World Champs and also it's the first time for the Olympic qualification.
Correct.
So people are picking and choosing. Jakob can't find the zone yet. Yeah, and someone like Mejdi, he's got the points in order to qualify. He doesn't need to do all the events.
No, there's a lot of tactical decision-making happening this year. A lot of skipping comps, prioritizing certain events. World Champs is also double points for the overall ranking this year, so a lot of people are prioritizing that one.
Yeah, and you talk to people about China at the end of the season, when you ask them if they're going or not, everyone's like, it just depends on the points.
Yeah, it's probably a last resort for most people. I think a lot of athletes would really value the time, the earlier finish to the season, earlier off-season, earlier pre-season, more training time for the OQS next year.
Yeah, that Olympic qualifying series will be coming in amongst some World Cups as well, so it's a busy year next year. Kokoro bumps to the left and sticks it, now needs to do a foot match. He's already got the zone on this boulder before, so it's just this move he needs. Sam falls on boulder 2.
Kokoro is still deciding what he wants to do and coming down.
Yeah, drops down to the slope. I think he climbed himself into a dead end there, but Hannes, all right, so he's very good at slabs, he's good in his feet, we've seen evidence of that today, but this move is next level slab.
And for everyone at home who can't quite make out what the zone is, there's a tiny screw on above this big dual textured 360 hold. Because it took me a little while to work out that it wasn't the big hold,
Yeah.
it was the zone.
Yeah, because sometimes if the tape touches a volume, it's everything attached to it.
Yeah.
Jakob gets 2 hands on, and he's starting to rush now, hasn't got a zone yet.
Hannes back up.
And Hannes has just pushed Dohyun out of the finals. So Hannes moves into 6th position. He'll want to do a bit better than that to guarantee it. Only 3 athletes remaining to come out onto the mats. Kokoro falls, can't figure it, and he will leave. He's really enjoying this season, it seems. Like, he generally does, but he's always got a smile, even when he's falling off.
Yeah, definitely.
Jakob getting massive encouragement in the last 20 seconds, but can't figure out that coordination move.
No top for Sam either on men's 2. And Hannah's is still going. Last boulder, you got to make the most of every second you have.
Massive dismount. It nearly left the mats. And he will be annoyed with that. As a boulder he'd love to have got done. He missed boulder 1 and he missed the top, but he's still in the top 6 at the moment.
And his other 2 teammates have had an absolutely fantastic semi-final, still sitting in 1 and 2 after quite some time.
Belgium coming out of left wing to take the top of the leaderboard. It's so interesting with the teams this year. Like, it used to be Slovenia and Japan, and now there's Great Britain now with Toby and yourself, of course, who's going to win in the next couple of days. But France has come through, Belgium. You know, everyone is just stepping up their game as the Olympics approaches.
Yeah, finals is way less predictable than it used to be. And I think that's why maybe last night's final was so exciting, is because it felt a little bit old school, maybe.
It did, yeah. Those names were really familiar.
Yeah.
You know, we've had people like Flavie make her first final and then get a medal. And,
exactly.
You know, we're all like, right, who's she resetting, relearning people? But yeah, that final was well known. Toby's on boulder number 3,
wasting no time.
That left leg, by the way, if anyone's noticed, he got rope burn at this gym when he was training, and it's super nasty. I'm only bringing it up because his dad told me, and it is quite obvious on the stream.
Yeah, and he's had it since before Brixton.
Yeah.
So it must have been a bad one.
Yeah, I think it was, from what I understand. John, into the zone, gets it, 1 move away, and should easily cruise this, and he does. And that's 2 out of 2. And Serrato came on the left.
One of our youngest finalists, semi-finalists.
Yeah, and he keeps getting through into finals as well. We did him as our athlete to watch in Japan, and he's proven us right because he's really coming on.
Almost exclusively top 10 results this year, so definitely picked right.
Yeah, he is doing well, and I think he'll be a favourite on the selectors list. I'm not sure if he's missed a World Cup as well. Maybe he has.
I think he's done them all this year.
Yeah, he's certainly been climbing a lot. Ooh, Toby sticks the left hand this time.
Making it work in the true Toby style.
Yeah, not always the cleanest, but he gets it done.
He definitely gets it done.
And he's going for the palm. Changes his mind.
He'll be taking in every screw hole, every tiny crack he can possibly get his nails into. He's looking for all the options.
Yeah, his try hard when he won the gold was outrageous.
Yeah, it's unmatched, I think.
There we go. He crimps the edge of the volume, breaks it slightly, creeps the left-handed. Come on.
See if he can. I think he still might have to go into the jug unless he finds another bit of the volume he can crimp.
Look at his right hand, the pressure that's going through that.
Now this is the climbing in Brixton that won him the gold medal. Come on, Toby, make it work.
Oh no, falls. His shoulders were going. His hands were shaking trying to crimp that thing.
There are holds I look at and go, no.
Yeah.
And then Toby crimps them somehow.
I wonder if he'll try that again. Look, his fingernails are in that thing.
Yeah.
There is the slightest edge where the volume comes away. Which no route setter blocked it, because why would you?
Exactly. He is the physical representation of if there is a will, there is a way.
And his left elbow is cut. He's just giving it everything. Right, where else are we at here? So we have
Samoa on the slab.
Samoa on the slab, yeah, let's watch this. So he gets to the tricky move, crimping
He's
the
been
blind
awarded
wall.
the zone already, so he must be falling near the top of this.
Kicks to the right.
Serrato not quite having managed this first coordination move yet.
Yeah, it hasn't actually been topped that much. I keep thinking it has a lot, but only the top 5.
Yeah, it's only had 6 stops.
Yeah.
And it's basically, top or nothing, apart from Alex.
Yeah. And Alex is also, he's sitting just on the bubble.
A good semi-final for Alex, though, coming out first and still being, in a finals position when we're almost to the last competitor. Definitely a good round.
Yeah, and you never know, he might stay there. Toby goes again. Now, this is going to be interesting. What is Toby going to do? He'll know that method wasn't the method. So it's just whether he decides to commit to his own craziness or try something different. His left knuckles are bleeding, I think, as well. Not bleeding, of course, but a cut. Toby's done. Bit of disappointment. Couldn't make it work.
No, but he put on a great show. Shout out to Carl Page, who sent me a message on Instagram with the GCSE maths answer.
Oh, really?
Apparently there's 11 different ways.
Oh, he's done algebra and everything.
Thank you so much, Carl.
Yeah, I don't understand any of what you've written, but yeah. He's written 4C2 plus 4C3 plus 4C4 equals 11. Well, there you go. Clear.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carl.
That's a lot of different methods.
Yes. That is amazing. I really hope he's genuinely worked that out.
Yeah, me too. He could have just put a whole load of letters down and we'd be like, yep 11 ways.
11 methods. Meiichi Narasaki is on, and he's having a really good second half to this bouldering season.
Yeah, 4th place in Brixton.
Tomoa's brother, and he goes...
They couldn't be more different.
No, they really couldn't.
In terms of style, I guess physique as well.
Yeah, height.
I mean, I didn't want to point out the obvious, but...
Yeah, Meiichi, very tall. Tomoa's not short, but he's nowhere near as tall as his brother.
Yeah.
And Jakob is on boulder number 2, and he might enjoy boulder number 2. Digs his nails into the crimp, but drops a right foot. Look at that bumping with no feet on. And a different style of message. Method.
See if he finds the palm.
Does went way higher than everyone else had gone. Ooh, look at this on the slab. Kokoro Fuji.
Very nice from Kokoro.
Just do that. And then he bobbles on the zone. That zone is an interesting hole because everyone seems to get it and then fall when they've touched it. So it might be one of those like red herring kind of things.
For sure. Sometimes it's easier to ignore the holds and just focus on like standing upwards into air. That helps find the balance point. A lot of the time, holds that bad can be more of a distraction.
And there are a few zones coming through on it now, but yeah, lots missing it. Sam is in 8th. And is looking like he could make a play here, so it depends on this. He really wants to top it, give himself less pressure on the slab. It's not a bad hold, that left. It's all body position.
Yeah, the left hand's not too bad, but the right hand, there's not much holding you in there. And I guess because your left foot is on, you're kind of bandooring, so you need something on the right.
All right, Meiichi falls. Jakob, everyone rests. And we've only got Ritsu Kayotani to come in this semi-final, so we're in the last part of the semis. Finals tonight, 7:20 Central European time, if you want to watch that.
Someone's asked, what boulders would we want to try the most out of these 4?
Ooh, go on, you go first.
I think boulder number 2.
Yeah, me too.
I'm old school.
I very rarely, I came in quite early this morning. I don't tend to touch the holds because I don't want to mess it up. But I came in early enough that I knew the setters would clean them.
Yeah.
And I pulled on to boulder number 2. And I was like, oh, I like this. Creeps, yes. So that's one I go for too. It just looks fun as well. That move just is a hero-style move, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Jakob's down in 17th, though, and he needs some tops here. Sam on the bump to the left.
Almost makes it work, but just loses the foot.
Yeah, now he's...
Kokoro's into the final move on this slab. Let's see if he can find the right foot position.
Right, hanging in the air.
And he's almost laughing.
The setters were saying that last move was really difficult, and not many of them managed to do it.
Yeah. Must be a really, I mean, setting is a hard job, but you know, kind of guessing what's possible for people, especially within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not that long.
No, it's not. And the setters are good climbers, but they're not this level.
Yeah.
And you can't bring an athlete on to test the boulders because then they might reveal it to the teammates. You know, if you went on and full-run the boulders, of course you would never cheat, but there's that opportunity to do so.
For sure. And it's almost impossible to predict what the holds will feel like after 20 climbers, and there's so many variables that make it such a hard job. But I think on the whole, the route setting's been really good so far in this comp.
Yeah, I think so. Like, there were a couple of things with the women's yesterday, and whether you think it was too reachy, or whether people need to jump better, I don't know. But whatever it was, we had, as I said earlier, it was dramatic last night. Right, zone, and no score. And our final climber is about to come out. Ritsu Kayotani from Japan, one of 3 Japanese in the top 3. The sun has come out in the stadium. The heat is rising. And Jakob doesn't... yeah, says it all. I don't need to commentate that face. So our top 6 is beginning to take shape now. I don't think Simon's going to be knocked out of it.
No.
Simon.
At the beginning, I was like, oh, maybe it'll be quite a high-scoring semi-final, but Simon seemed to just have the round of his life.
Yeah, he really did. He will be in a final, which is awesome for him.
His 2nd final ever? Oh, he made finals here 2 years ago. So Innsbruck is a good place.
Yeah, it's a good place for a lot of people, I think. I've got to say, if I was a world-class athlete, I'd want to win here.
I was going to say, where would you want to do really well?
Yeah,
like,
I think
where's
here
your
would be
dream?
special.
Yeah. See, for me, Chamonix is the place, but this is Leeds, so slightly different.
Well, you've got an opportunity coming.
This is true.
If you just
Watch out, Chamonix.
Yeah, do it at sunset, please, so we can get the photos. Serato should finish this from here. Easy from him, a flash on Boulder 2.
Yeah, light work.
And then Toby's on a slab on the right. John is on Boulder 3.
Slabs were definitely one of Toby's weaknesses, but he worked really hard on them over the pre-season training. And I think in Salt Lake, topping the slab was definitely a contributing factor to his 3rd place there.
Well, look how solid he is there.
Yeah.
Top right of your screens. Have
Really comfortably into the zone.
And this is Serato's flash. Toby falls. And Ritsu has had a few goes, and he's back on now.
Toby needs to top this to move into that top 6 because he's down a zone.
Look at that from Ritsu, swinging and held it into the zone. And it's doable from here. Easily into the heel, sees that. Gets the top, and that could be very important. All the top 5 have got that top. So topper flash, and Chong and Toby are left on. So Toby's in 7th at the moment. That zone he got bumping him up the order. Alex Megos in the danger zone.
Yeah, Sam Avazu could, with a quick zone, bump himself all the way up.
Toby makes sure he's got that zone hold. He's always falling on that attempt. Look at how strapped up he is. He's now, his left elbow was bleeding, he's got that taped. His knuckles were bleeding, he's got that taped. What else can he tape?
Yeah, no blood allowed on the mats.
No. Sean with the left foot. His knee almost getting in the way of the match. So awkward to bring that through.
Yeah, like left hand, left foot in a really small box, like really hard position to generate out of. And it's quite a long way to that last hold.
It is, yeah, especially moving all the way to the left of it. Toby stands, you can see he's on the no-tex bit of this.
Ah, so there's a little jib on that middle circle, which is maybe why Yoshiyuki chose to put his stiff shoes on.
There we go, that explains it. Although Toby's gone for the shoe that he didn't choose.
That's true.
And falls. Sorry, Toby. Yeah, look at that left arm, battered and bruised from Toby Roberts. He's got chalk in his hair, absolutely giving it everything. Looks like someone's hand palmed his head.
Yeah. Like an old hairstyle of Yerne, maybe?
Yes, I don't, yeah.
Or Sebastian Helenk. I can't remember who had. There's been some interesting hairstyles on the circuit.
Yeah, Yerne's got pink hair at the moment. Sebastian I haven't seen all year, so who knows? It's usually the red mohawk.
That's true.
I'm trying to think who else. Miho, she's gone green.
Yeah. Max likes to change his hair colour quite frequently.
True. All right, Toby makes this part look really easy. You can get into the zone.
Not got long, so he's going to have to move a bit quicker soon.
That right foot slipping and sliding.
You
Toby
can just
goes.
see it sliding down that white and black section.
Yeah, well, no finals for Toby this time, but he'll pick himself up for the lead. And he's already got a gold medal this year, so I think he's achieved his goals on that one. John misses the top, and the round is done. So Toby says goodbye, last member of Team GB to leave. Alex stays in 6th place.
Chon's still sitting pretty comfortably in 3rd place.
Yeah, with a, oof. I think that's one of those slow motions that looks worse than it was. Nearly got the left hand through. All right, so Jakob's on M3, 2, 3. So Moa is out as well. No zones for him so far. Sorry, Meichi is out. I keep saying Narasaki, and because I just say Tomoa because I've said those two names together so many times. So Meichi's on M2. On the nasty crimps. DJ dropping a bit of a tension tune.
Yeah. Meichi going big.
He's going big, as did Jakob, spinning around to match that first hold. And Sam is starting out on the slab. And look at that from Meichi.
Easy flash. And he is also back in the game.
Yeah, so everything can change on this leaderboard. Jakob chalking up. He's been there for a while. Had a flick to get into position.
Oh, rolling over from Jakob. Not something I saw.
No, and I think one of the only ones to I haven't seen anyone else do that. It's hard to keep track on only 4 athletes, and maybe that was Meichi's top. Everyone pretty much, once they've got that zone, they've done. I'm trying to think where else they could have put the zone. There isn't really many positions on that boulder. Maybe on that jump move.
Maybe the jib that everyone's trying to get to.
Yeah.
But then it probably would have been quite a low-scoring boulder.
True.
Sam is on the slab, and he has already achieved the zone, so he's bumped himself up into finals. And it's looking good. He's a pretty good technical climber.
He's standing on the zone hold, but he changes his mind. Brings the left foot over. Oh, look at this. This could be our second top. It's going to be. Second person to do that.
And he knows what that means.
Yeah, let's have a look at... yeah, so he's in 6th, and that bumps him way up. Alex is out. Just Yuki in the danger zone. Sam moves to 2nd position. And Colin Duffy, despite the frustration, is still in the final.
Yeah, really good climbing from Sam there. He just found the perfect position for his left foot, which was right at the top of that. Almost, he might be standing on the seam of the white volume that's stacked on top of the big no-tex one. And that's exactly where Simon had his foot as well for that delicate standover.
All right, so Jakob has 1 minute and 40 seconds. He's the the only athlete on stage. That's how bad the left hand is, just 3 fingers pressing into the dish. change from left to right. And I know the humidity and temperature is rising, so I keep opening the commentary box door because it's super hot in here as well, and it is getting a bit sweaty out there in the stadium. Sun's come out, the rain's gone away. And as you were saying earlier, like as a route setter, I mean, how many conditions? It started off at 18 degrees. It's way hotter than that now.
Yeah, it's now 3 o'clock.
Yeah, it's tricky.
So not the ideal semi-final round for Jakob so far, but he still has 50 seconds left on the clock. And I'm sure that's enough time for a top on this boulder. Let's see if he can figure out this crux move.
Super confident on the match, then presses into the palms with his jibs underneath that. Into the dish. Goes for the right hand again. I think he's misreading that the left hand as a hand rather than a foot.
Yeah, agreed.
"18 seconds. 14.
Oh, it would be a really quick top.
It's amazing that he's likely not to be in finals. He's got lead tomorrow, and yet he's still going. There's no question of saving skin for him.
I guess like athletes are athletes. Like when you see a challenge, you just want to do your very best to succeed.
Yeah, and Jakob never stopped.
Hard to think about, you know, the next few days when you've got 15 seconds on the clock and a boulder that you feel like you can do right in front of you.
Yeah, Hannah Schubert was in the commentary box with me last year when Jakob was doing well, and she got so nervous.
Slowly getting quieter and quieter.
Yeah, Hannah announced her retirement from climbing. There's a few. They started to see this like shift away from some of the legends that have been here.
Yeah, a lot of familiar names no longer a part of the circuit or planning on retiring in the next year and a half. I think Paris marks the obvious endpoint for a lot of athletes.
Yeah, Lana in the commentary box last night, she announced her retirement from bouldering finals for the time being, which is super sad.
Really sad.
Please send your message of support to Alana. She will be, of course, going for the Olympic qualification, but she doesn't think she'll be at another Boulder World Cup.
Definitely feels like there's been a handover of generations in the last year or two.
All right, Saratu is on your main screen. He's down in 11th, but that's just bumped him up. Ooh, our scoreboard goes crazy. Still in 11th, matching Dohyun. Chongwon is currently in the finals, so he's having a good round for him. Pressing into the corner, which is heavily chalked up now. Left palm against that. Delicate with the left foot as he steps through, but that move to the right is irritatingly unbalanced.
And it's going to be an interesting one for the overall title today. With maybe no... Where's Tomoa? Maybe no Tomoa in finals?
Yeah, he's in 9th, so he's out. Saratu presses underneath. Left bump, causing everyone difficulties. John standing again on this move.
Using the wall pretty well. I'm not sure we've seen many people really
palm into it.
Yeah.
Interesting round. Everyone having a think, and it's not one of those rounds where the last person out is necessarily cruising through.
It almost seems to be the opposite. I think our early starters did really well on these boulders. Which,
as we've said, does kind of make sense with the temperature difference.
That's true.
You know, that rain was annoying, but it was cooler for the athletes, whereas the men out now, it's much hotter for them. He does the heel as well. Colin tried that. Not much to heel hook.
Wow. I would love to see it work.
Yeah, me too now. Look at how... Oh, I see. He's thinking about doing like that. So he wanted to bring the right through. Saratu flies towards the left of the hold. And that will move him up the leaderboard. Where is he now? Oh, I can't even see. Yes, he's still in 11th, but now it changes.
Unfortunately, we lose Yoshiyuki from finals, but Serato has gained himself an extra top and a 5th place, with the slab still to come.
Slab still to come. Our top 6 has been changing a lot. Colin is still inside of it, so there's still a potential for him to get 2 golds in a row. Look at Serato kick the wall in celebration there. That swing came out of nowhere. He's good on the left. That's a good
really
shot
good
of it.
hold.
Yeah, that's where the jug is.
Final minute.
Ritu campusing up. So he has the left hand locked in. He hasn't really seen the palm, or he doesn't like the palm yet.
No, it looked like he wanted to bring his right hand all the way through. And I think he's calling it.
He is. So can't figure that one out. He leaves, and Oni-chan is left. And he wants to get this done. 30 seconds, maybe time for one more if he goes quickly. He's up. Doesn't want to rush it too much, but that time is ticking away, and this move is a slow one. 15 seconds. You can see now the light shining better than before. Right foot up, but he is done. So he's in the finals, and can he be bumped out of it? Maybe. Oh, don't do maths on the live stream. Jakob will come out once more in front of his home crowd. He will give it absolutely everything. We're starting to lose boulders now. Boulder 1 is gone. You won't see that again. Meichi on boulder 3, Jakob on the slab. I'm so glad someone reminded us of where those brushes there. It would have annoyed the life out of me all day.
Trying to remember exactly where.
Yeah. And I actually wouldn't have ever guessed Munich as well, because wasn't an IFSC comp, so all I was doing was to give IFSC stuff.
It feels like a very long time ago as well.
It does, that was summer. Crazy, isn't it? Jakob balances backwards on his first go. Meichi smooth.
Let's see what Meichi tries. I think he might be able to just reach this next hold with his foot low.
Oh, yeah, he's got the span for it, hasn't he? Jakob used an interesting heel on the... I think there's a bit of a dish on 3 maybe there.
Oh, yeah.
But he used the heel.
Kind of an undercutty side pull start hold.
Yeah, yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah. Undercutty is great. So delicate. Misses it that time. So Colin Duffy is now in 6th position. And Serato in 5th, Jean Chon in 4th, Nicholas Colin 3rd, Sam Abazu 2nd, and in 1st place, as he's been for a while, Simon Lorenzi, who came out 5th this morning.
Jakob can't get himself into finals, but he can improve on his rank in this round.
Meichi shakes out the left hand as he goes again. Is he going to go for the big span? I think he might use that as an intermediate. Crimps it hard, brings the right foot down, but the left pops off the bad foothold. Jakob was closer to the balancing point. Last 10 or so minutes of this competition. The audience were pouring in, and people were taking their positions right at the front from early on, sort of camping out.
Yeah, sat down by the fence. A very dedicated crowd here in Innsbruck. People here for pretty much every round.
Yeah, including the paraclimbing that happened on Tuesday, and that's free to watch on YouTube, so please go and have a look at that, because it was brilliant competition. Right, Jakob stands up on the right foot. Left foot through. He'll look to bump the right over. Slides down. Mechi, a big breath out as he goes towards the left. Really wants to make sure of that left foot. He keeps popping on him. Better this time. Swaps the feet over.
I think he'll prefer the palm method for this final move.
Yeah, he unwinds, latches the jug, but can't hold the barn door. That's got to be annoying, because that foot kept popping on him, and the one time he had it, he nearly did it, but can't get it. Jakob, you can see how much he's cleaned the front of his shoes. It almost looks like they're wet. Really black on that left foot.
Yeah, he's just trying to get as central as possible on that left foot hold. The no-tex part of it comes over quite far.
Mechi swings around, presses underneath. What's the left foot? All important, 20 seconds to go. Much better from Mechi now. He will get another chance at this.
He has plenty of time.
Right palm on. Doesn't let go this time. 8 seconds to go. Mechi tops out.
A really good effort.
And that's put him up to 6th.
Yeah. Whoa.
He's feeling tired. Jakob, that's really nice to see. Jakob leaves the Boulder stage. We won't see him tonight. We're congratulating Mechi on that last second top. Oh. Big scream as he latches it. Okay, so Ritsu will be out next. My pick of my top 6, I've only got one so far. I think that's only Chon. Anyone else? Oh, and Serato. Okay, so I picked 2.
2 out of 6.
2 out of 6, that's pretty poor considering I watch climbing for a living.
Well, it's been a pretty unpredictable round, I'd say.
I think so, yeah. Thank you very much. Saved my ego there. Kayatani, this was the... Yeah, gets the left foot on, super smooth from him, bumps left. And Serato's on the slab. Let's see how sticky he's feeling. Look at this from Kayatani, left foot up, pressing on the palm.
Similar method to Toby.
Yeah, but that right hand's awful. He's gonna have to roll all the way into it and then bring the left up.
I reckon the root setters will have tried this beta break.
Yeah, the push, definitely. And he has dropped back down and finds a palm on the right, which might have given him a night. Ooh, interesting. So hand swap. Bit low. Well, that could have worked.
It's a long way.
Yeah. Three and a half minutes to go. Colin is now out of the top 6. Mechi in the danger zone, but he's got a boulder in hand. Kayatani had the left hand pretty much in that jug, but it is low, I mean, and in a long way, so you have to bring the right all the way through.
I think it could work, but...
He's not got much to kick off, though. I mean, if you look at his foothold, way down to the right.
Serato yet to get the zone on this boulder.
It's a good separator, this boulder. Oh, look at that footwork. Well done. Missed the dish, though. So Serato has a think about this. Kicks his feet down into the towel, takes a sip of water and contemplates life. 2.5 minutes to go.
This boulder reminds me a little bit of the 3rd finals boulder in Brixton, where some of the athletes ended up skipping out the zone completely.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you kind of have to be confident to to commit to missing out the zone in the hope of a top.
Absolutely,
because, you know, if that doesn't work, you're left without a top and without a zone. So
yeah, to not go for the safety zone and just use it in some way to get the score is a risk. Yeah, Serato with 2 tops. Hasn't got the zone yet, although he's got past it. Ritsu into the zone, steps left, and will he try this low jump again?
yeah, he's had a bit of a rest now, so, and this time he'll probably go straight for that method. So hopefully he'll be a bit fresher.
Wait for the hand pop, there it is, but I mean, it was marginal, that hand swap anyway.
It was.
I think he might have just got a bit lucky when he dropped down the first time.
Get a little bit of a Houdini match.
That was another phrase I learned.
We've seen it a few times this season.
Well, people don't know what Houdini match is. What's a Houdini match?
It's where you have like one hand on a single hand hold, and then you have your second hand on top of it, and you like take one hand off to then put the other hand on.
Okay, so
very hard to understand what I just said without watching me do it with my hands.
Yes,
so.
I was watching. I completely understand. It's like, but it's called a Houdini because it's like a magic trick. Your left hand disappears, your right hand takes its place.
Much better explained. Thank you, Matt.
I don't know about that. That's the theory. Let's see if he can do it. So the left hand's on. He probably won't do it this time. No, he just loses the right foot. Serato keeps going. He's got 26 seconds. He wants
Still zoneless.
Still zoneless, yeah. I wonder if he's going to touch it soon. I mean,
and
he'll
he's
know.
walking off
strange, isn't it?
Without zone.
Interesting. Unless he's... I mean, there is a scoreboard at the back there, as you can see on the arena,
Yeah.
so he probably knows he's in, maybe just decided, hey...
Maybe he didn't realise that the zone was that tiny screw-on.
Yeah. Or thought he was awarded it, perhaps,
Yeah.
but the judges do write it, so I don't know. But he's
off stage.
He's
now.
off, he's gone. Decision made. Right, we're on the last 2 climbs. There's Mori down at the front, had a tricky final last night. All right, so Meichi will make sure of every foothold on it. Lots of athletes have gone through this boulder already. Jakob, the only one to use the divot on the 3rd volume with the heel, from what I've seen, unless I've missed it.
Meichi already in the finals position. With a zone, he could bump himself up above Serato.
Right foot over. I've had a minute gone. Oh, there is a jib on that, you're right.
It's so hard to see.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's hard for the athletes to see on the mats as well. Like I've watched competitors like completely miss out holds on boulders. I think in Salt Lake semi-finals, Camilla Moroni just like completely missed a crimp that was up and left on the first boulder. It's crazy how kind of like tunnel visions you can get when you're out there.
Yeah, and you don't have, I mean, in a normal boulder session, you've got friends who are sort of talking about like different moves. These guys don't have that.
No.
They might see a sneaky glimpse of someone else doing something, but you're really focused on your own boulder.
Exactly.
Meichi, that is the jib we're talking about. Thank you, camera crew. Oh, look at that balance.
Nicely done.
And he's into the dish, but he hasn't got the zone yet. But I think he's going to do it. Oh, rushed that last move, but managed to make it stick. And that will bunch.
Pretty
bump them
solid.
up. Yeah, good work from Meichi.
Straight into 2nd place with 3 tops.
There we go. Well, Meichi will make sure from the judge. He's just waiting for that. It's pointing over to the judge. Ooh, so that's interesting. What's going on down there? Meichi is still on stage, waiting to be awarded the top. And now I think he leaves, and there's people checking it, but I think he's been awarded it. I mean, he certainly was awarded it on the scores.
And a pretty good split, scores-wise, in this semi-final.
The small hold on the bottom right, just made that work. Made a match, had the celebration right at our camera. All right, well, we'll wait for the time to tick down and we can talk to you about lead climbing, Molly. So you've been doing a bit of boulder training.
Yeah.
How have you transitioned from this boulder into the lead, or were you always doing the boulder to warm up for the lead season?
So after breaking my ankle, lead training was easier for me to do. Like I would just do circuits with 1 foot. Like it was a bit safer for me to do as well.
1 foot in a cast?
In a moon boot for a bit.
Okay.
And then in a trainer, and then in my partner's climbing shoe.
Okay.
So I worked down to eventually getting back into my own climbing shoes. But yeah, kind of low ball traversing was the easiest thing for me to do for a while. I couldn't stand on my foot for quite some time or land on it. So actually I've been training lead for this whole time basically. And the boulder was more of an afterthought. So I'm really looking forward to lead. But it is super hard for athletes to train both at the same time or make this rushed transition. And I think everyone starts lead season a little bit, not out of shape, but maybe not quite as sharp. Yeah, still, you know, coming out of bouldering mindset and whatnot. So Innsbruck is always a really tricky comp because of the schedule, but also because it's that, whoa, okay, we're back into lead. And it's not the shortest lead wall. So it's really not a very kind welcome.
Yeah, a lot of athletes getting pumped out of their minds on that thing. And you see a lot of people who break their legs or feet kind of take up fingerboarding with a dedication. Did you spend hours on the fingerboard while you were recovering?
I did. I spent a lot of time on the sofa to begin with, and then I slowly built myself up. And then my fingerboard sessions were my training for quite a while whilst I couldn't really walk or stand that easily. So I spent like an hour under the fingerboard most days.
Wow, okay.
Luckily, I love it. I am British, so I feel like there's a bit of an obligation to enjoy fingerboarding.
Were you in a dingy cellar?
Of course.
Okay, good.
Well, as soon as I could get down the stairs to the cellar, that's where I spent a lot of my time.
Oh. All right, a last athlete runs to the slab. Ritsu is in action. He's laid the carpet down at the beginning to make sure his feet are cleaned. All the brushes are left. Let's see what Ritsu can do. Standing up straight away into the dish. Right foot on the jib. We know he's there, hidden.
I don't think it's possible for him to make finals, but
yeah, it'd be good to see another top. We've only had 3 on this boulder. Crosses through with the left. He's gonna fall. You could see he was falling even before he stepped across on that one. So our top 6, Simon Lorenzi, Meiichi Narasaki, Sam Avazu, Nicolas Colin, Jean Wonchon, and Serato Anraku make up our top 6. Colin Duffy, close, so close.
He's been close at every event this year. I think he's finished 7th, like, more than once. He was 7th in Brixen, he was 8th in Prague, 11th in Salt Lake. It's been a tough season for Colin.
Yeah, one of those where you sort of gain character, you know, you grind away and you hope one day that those experiences are going to bring you success. And of course, the world champs, we keep saying it, but I'm starting to get excited about the world champs. They keep putting up a thing being like it's 50 days away or 30 days away.
It's not long now.
It's coming.
This year, as boulder season is done soon.
Yep.
Lead season will, I'm sure, run away from us.
Yep. Yeah, we got a really good shot of the jib there that's on where his right foot is now. That's it. That's pretty small, isn't it?
It's very small.
And he's matching that, so he's jumping his... Oh, he's not this time, but he was trying to. Left foot through.
Can't quite find the balance point. looks like his center of mass is a little bit too far away from the wall.
Yeah, he's looking down at his coaches questioningly. They can't shout help to him. They can just shout encouragement.
Unfortunately not.
And I didn't realize this, but judges pay quite a lot of attention to what the athletes are saying to the coaches. And they ask if it's in a different language as well to make sure that there's no communication.
Really?
Yeah.
I have always wondered. I felt maybe a little disadvantaged as a Brit.
Yeah.
You know?
Because they can understand.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. He sticks the move to the right. Touches the zone, but he hasn't used it yet. Oh, Right, well, this would be a great way to finish the comp if he can get this, but the final move is not a gimme, and he's standing on the zone, which is wrong. Changes his mind.
He's slowly working his feet around this white volume.
Oh, no. Falls right. And he wants the crowd behind him. He knows he came close.
He looks excited.
Did you see Xian So's dance when she won the silver?
I missed it, but I heard about it.
It was amazing. It was the most amazing moment.
I love it. I really love how much more like emotion we get to see on stage from some of these athletes who have looked pretty game-faced for most of their careers.
Exactly. I've never seen anything like it from her. It was just brilliant. It was only half a second, but it was enough. Ritsu will go once more. Last minute coming up of our comp here this afternoon. Brings the left foot delicately through once more, and has he remembered the balancing point? No. I was about to say yes.
I think he's too excited.
He is, isn't he? Really enjoying himself out there. And why not? It's like a festival. Music playing, sun's out. There's already athletes looking at the quali boulders, trying to figure it out, because there's some air climbing going on. Sorry, quali brutes, I meant. All right, left foot out, kicks the right. It's not happening, is it? And I think that is it. It is it. So 12 for Ritsu coming out, and we have our top 6. We'll wait for confirmation. And do remember that sometimes appeals come in after the broadcast finishes, and that Slab, we saw a couple of appeals we think come through, so it's provisional until it's confirmed. And MC just announced if Ritsu gets awarded the zone, and it might be an appeal on that one, would be the best ever result, apparently. All right, well, we'll wait for confirmation, and then we'll say goodbye to you. We'll return 7:20 this evening for the Boulder finals. Look at the setters already starting to strip that route. Well, there it is, confirmation of our top 6. Sima Lorenzi, 4 out of 4, the only one to do that. Meiichi Narasaki, Sam Abazu in 3rd position, Nicolas Collin in 4th, Jean Wanchon in 5th, and Sarato makes another final in 5th place. Yoshiyuki Ogata, close but not quite, in 7th. Megos, really, really close in 8th.
He had a good round.
Did, and then Colin Duffy, Toby Roberts outside. We won't see a repeat. And we work our way down the list. Big names, Dylan Countryman down at the bottom. Draws down from the 2 Slovenians, and Dylan from the USA. Jakob 17th, is a shame, but he'll have another go at the lead. Hannes van Dyson couldn't unlock the slab, just got a zone on that. Dohyun Lee, again, another one whose Boulder season is done without another medal. Well, we will return later on this evening, or we won't, but you'll be watching from the audience. Best of luck with Lee tomorrow.
Thank you so much. I'm very excited.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Molly Thompson-Smith, for joining me in the commentary box. We will return soon for the final. Have a lovely afternoon wherever you are, and thank you for watching.
it.